Okay. Well, welcome back everyone. After like a few weeks. It's been a while. We're
Hmm.
so excited to have everyone back. We're so excited to hear from you all. We have a fun episode tonight because we got our episode live. I don't know what I'm talking about. We have a
It's
fun
an
live
episode.
tonight. Because we got a lot of casting news at the end of last week. Wasn't it Friday that we got the casting news?
I
Yes.
think so,
Um,
yeah.
I remember because I was at the dentist.
there we go.
Very conveniently.
Yeah. So, well, Emily's at the dentist. We got some great news. And we also have two chapters of Mockingjay to talk about. So, and we have set photos. We have a lot.
Hmm.
It's going to be another loaded night because we're making up for the last couple weeks. Where do we want to start is the question. What are
Do you
people
want to
feeling?
start with casting?
Let's start there. Yeah.
Perfect.
I can't believe we got another actual article that
Same.
said a whole slew of additional people. I didn't think we were gonna get that at all. And we're still missing some people. Kind of weird.
Wait,
Yeah.
who are we missing? Go over them because I
We're
didn't
missing
really follow.
Hilarious, right?
Mm,
Which I just don't understand. I'm like, is this some giant role that they're gonna announce at the end? I don't know.
just
Just
mic
weird.
drop. Yeah,
And then I
interesting.
think we're missing a couple other. AJ, do you know? Because you made that recap post. Who we're missing still?
I can't be trusted because I put Spruce in the wrong category and it's still hot.
No.
Because I was like, how am I gonna do this? And I was like, I can't put it all in one post anymore. Like it's too big. It's gonna be 3 separate posts. And then I had to do sketches of the layout because I couldn't get them all to fit in a way that looked right. I couldn't see straight by the end of it. And so there's that. Off the bat, based off of what I was doing, I just know that we got Livia, and she's the District 1 tribute Facet's mentor. We don't have a specific cast for Facet. And then I guess we still don't have specific actors for the mentors for Bobbin and Wobie, which are Juno Phipps and Hilarious Heavensby, which I can't with that name, but anyway. And then the other districts, District 3, 6, I think, oh yeah, the other one, the girl from 2, which are people that we don't have specific casting for. I don't know if we will get that. But as far as all the other named, or I know the tributes and mentors have names, but you know what I mean, like bigger characters, I guess. I feel like we have everyone, or at least very close to it. I'm honestly surprised that we have the entire covey and that
Same.
they were all specifically announced, because I was so certain after we got Maud Ivory and Billy Tope, I was like, okay, the rest are gonna be nameless extras in the back kind of thing. I didn't think we were getting a whole cast,
A whole covey.
Yeah. Same with
s-
the Peacekeeper buddies, and
Yeah.
that was surprising. I'm glad that we got the Mayfair recast confirmed, because I know it was kind of it was likely, but it wasn't officially confirmed anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel and to be fair, my memory of Ballad is a little bit fading at the moment because I'm waiting for my reread for next year. I was gonna do one this year, but then I was like, I'll just wait till it's closer to the movie coming out. So all I can remember are the main story beats and stuff, and if there's more characters that I'm forgetting here, I honestly don't even know who they are at this point.
So many
Same.
characters.
There are so many.
Other than just tributes and mentors, I don't know if we're missing anything major, because we have the 3 Snows, the 3 Plinths, we have Gall, Flickerman, and Highbottom. And then in 12, we have the entire covey, the Peacekeepers, Mayfair.
Billy. All that.
So I don't know.
I was just kind of surprised by how young the Covey was.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
me
imagined them
too.
older. Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I like Clerk. I don't know. I just like I imagined several of them older. I
I thought that at least
and
Barb
Barb?
Azure for some reason. I
I'm
was
so
like, that's an old woman.
confused.
I am too.
Clerk is
I mean,
supposed to be young because I remember that didn't caught me off guard. It says he's 12 years old. Because I remember when like Songbirds and Snakes was doing that like fan art challenge, like one of them was Covey. And I had to go back and like try to find these character like descriptions. I was like, oh man, I don't know who's doing what anymore. And like it's funny because I totally remembered Barb Azure completely wrong. Like I made up a whole new character and I was like, oh, that's totally not what she looks like. Great. But yeah, I know that Clerk Carmine is 12 and the rest was really up for anything though. I had no real.
Does anybody know how old the actress playing Barb is?
No, but I'm in love with her.
I was gonna say
she's so pretty.
Guys,
Yeah.
oh my god. I told most people, but I am obsessed with Barb. And so I messaged Honor and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to have you in the fandom. And she sent me a heart and a smiley face back. And I was just like, I'm dying. I'm dead. I don't know how old she is though. I just had to share that tidbit of excitement. And then I was gonna be like, well, we actually have a Hunger Games podcast. But I didn't do that.
You want to talk your Covey experience with us?
Yeah,
Secrets
exactly.
are safe here.
Her,
totally.
Billy Taupe, like
Yeah.
I'm Team Covey.
Yes.
Yes.
But I know she just graduated from, I think it was
Mhm.
university. So she's probably about like 20, early 20s, I would say.
Yeah,
An assumption I would make.
it's a good assumption. I'd agree
The
with
actor-
that.
who plays Clerk Carmine like has liked a bunch of my story posts and
Oh,
yeah.
He's
he seems
so
very
cute.
yeah.
That's
it
really
was,
exciting.
It was Irene's birthday today. She turned 18. She plays Lamina. So
yes, that
happy
little
birthday,
post was so
Irene.
cute.
There's so many, like the whole cast were posting on their stories for her birthday today. It was really sweet.
They
She's
seem to
so
be bonding really well.
Mhm.
Oh, and we got Grand Ma'am.
Mm,
Right.
Not
I
Meryl
don't know how to.
Streep.
The
I
actress who
know.
has like a capital name.
I don't know how to pronounce her.
Ganula?
Theolinia. I don't know. But it's a great like full name, like whatever the first name is, and then Flanagan. I mean,
Mhm.
it
Isn't
rolls off the tongue.
Flanagan like in the Hunger Games series somewhere?
Yeah,
I don't
isn't
know.
it Meg?
Yeah, I think
Mm.
so.
Right.
I know her from Lost, so I'm excited.
Right. Me too.
Yes, she looks perfect too. At least like
Yeah.
the headshot photo, she looks. I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is her.
I remember on my last Lost rewatch, I was like, oh my god, she could be a really great grandma. And then I was like, this is so obscure. I'm not gonna like say this anywhere.
You manifested it though.
And I was like, wait.
Oh, I'm excited for this though. I think they all look really good. I like don't, since they're not really well known, a lot of them, it's kind of hard to say how
Right.
they're
So it's
going
just
to
like,
do.
oh, they
Yeah.
look great.
Yeah,
Great.
you really have to just go by their looks, like honestly. I'm glad we got the Plinth family. That was very exciting.
Yeah.
Um,
That was one I was surprised about, to be honest. I was
like I mean,
losing hope.
me too. Like Daddy Plinth, straight
Oh my
up
god.
Plinth.
Thank you.
I hate to say it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
no.
we can work with this.
Iconic.
Absolutely. And like I do, back to the Peacekeepers too, Smiley and Beanpole, perfect. I love
Mhm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And Commander Hoff, like we're really getting everyone in the book.
I was surprised by
very
Commander
excited
Hoff,
about-
honestly.
Commander Hoff. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, Taylor's not here. Taylor was
Commander
very
Hoff,
excited.
Burn
Oh, there's
Gorman
Taylor.
is everything. Burn Gorman, I love him so much.
Me too.
I have loved him for forever. And speaking of forever, that's the first show I saw him on. It's called Forever.
Oh my gosh.
And then he was in Turn, and he was the best. He stole the show. He was not even the main character, but he was amazing. The acting that he is able to do is just incredible. I'm so excited for Burn Gorman. You don't even know.
Yay!
He was definitely, I think, the biggest name that I recognized out of all of the, like, that big batch of casting. Because I've seen him in quite a few stuff, and like, he's very good. I'm really hoping that he has a big part and they don't really snip it down that much. I just really hope they have his birthday party.
Yeah, he is really good at roles where he's not the main character, but he just steals it. Like, he is so good that way. He can be a supporting character, but just like be so amazing.
Well, it's like please kill me. The guy that played Commander Thread in Catching Fire, that actor. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but I was watching Catching Fire the other day, and like he's not in it very much, but he steals the show.
Yeah.
Like, he's very scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Byrne would do a really good job with a role like that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I just want to see these people in costumes.
Yeah,
Right.
please let us see that soon.
I know. Like that's like the next thing. I'm like, okay, we had that one first look. And then we have like leaked set photos of extras, but give me more
the real
first
first look.
Literally, though. We need the whole, I mean, like we said
I need
before,
Capital
we just need the movie.
Snow.
Same.
I need Capital Snow.
Please.
I need first look of Gaul. I need first look of High Bottom. I need it. I need first looks of Anus. I'm still struggling with that.
I'm curious to see what
Yeah.
kind of wig they put on him.
Mhm.
Like the Sejanus wig. I have a very clear idea in my head, but I don't want to be disappointed. It's hard to tell. And like, even with these set photos though, it's still like, we get a general idea of like what things are going to look like, but like, it's not really at all, because who knows what they're going to do in like post filming, like editing and all that stuff.
Should we talk about the set photos?
Yes.
Anybody else have anything to say about casting?
No.
No?
We'll probably circle back 16 times before the end of the
Right.
No,
as we do.
100%.
So we got leaked set photos of the monkey house.
Lion
And,
House,
like,
I guess, is what it is now.
Crazy.
Is it?
Is it a lion or a monkey? I don't know why when I saw it, I thought it looked like a lion.
Oh, because it has like the animal on the
Yeah, on the
in the bars.
fence.
I think it's a
Yeah.
monkey. It looks like a monkey to me.
No, honestly, now that you say it, it is a monkey. When I first saw it, I just was like, lion, because it looks like there's a mane around it. But I think that's a monkey. It's very evil looking.
Yeah, it does look kind of shifty. I don't know.
And like that huge gap in the bars of the fence. I mean, I'm sure that'll be like covered up soon. But
Okay, I feel like, does it look the way that you all imagined it in the book?
No.
yes, I imagined it more rocky and like more of like a pit than
Yeah,
anything.
that's what I did too. I pictured it darker and I think more inside look for me.
I get that. The rock work that's on like, I guess the back of it. I'm trying to see which photo that is. I don't know if you guys have seen. You can just see like the rock work with like the doors
Mm-hmm.
that like the tribute slide out of. I love that. I just wish that it was more of that than just like a random fence that they put in the middle of a public park, because that's kind of what it looks like. But I think it'll look better when it's actually like on film.
It's funny because it's actually like, I'm looking at it right now just because I want to be refreshed, and it is similar to what I had in mind. So I take my previous statement back. The only thing is, like, I always pictured it as like, I wouldn't even know how to explain this well, but like there is that fence thing, but I don't picture it as like a circle in the middle. Like, I always pictured it as like, it would be kind of like bordering around a space,
Like a big enclosure, like its own thing, right?
like, no, like oh man, this is when I can explain something visually better than with words, but like, great. Now I can't even find the words.
It's hard to explain, like what's in your head for something like this.
But I guess I just like, if you were to line everybody up like in a single file line against like in a room, right, against like the four walls of a room, and then you would have like a fence around those people, but like they can move freely between themselves, but like, okay, I'll just have to draw it. This doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean it's a zoo, you know what I mean? Like I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I don't really know what my point is here. Someone take over.
No, it'll definitely serve its purpose. It definitely is. It's giving zoo for sure. That building that's behind it that they didn't build it. It's like part of the park, I guess. I'm curious as to how much that's going to be used. I like it, but I don't know if it fits in with like whatever aesthetic they're going with.
It's probably just like at first, until we got like kind of a second wave of photos, I thought that it was going to be inside that building.
I did too originally.
But then I guess it's really just more of a background.
Yeah.
Thing. I mean, because they like covered the windows. I think they made it, I don't know, look a little bit different, but
it might be like a waiting. It might be like their green room or something. I mean, there's a picture that if you zoom in, there's like a guy standing in the doorway of the building.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
And he definitely looks like he's dressed in like the 1950s sort of Capitol attire. I mean, that just might be where they're holding extras.
Right.
So who knows? I think it's kind of impressive that they built like a zoo enclosure in the middle of this park very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it was a day or two before that they were like finishing building it. And the way that they build things so fast and ruin things so quickly.
R.I.P. hanging tree.
Right. In the dumpster.
And then we also get a look of the I guess the transport vehicle that all the tributes get dumped out of. At least like the side view of it.
Which we got like more of an HD picture of the symbol, the red symbol on the side, which really isn't much of anything. So I'm kind of like, what is the point of this?
I know. And it's like, where did it go when Katniss was around? Like, why don't they use that symbol anymore?
Yeah, I'm like, why is it not just the capital seal?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Or some like District 2 on the side or something. I don't know. I don't get it, but
it's interesting though. I'm very curious to see like how, if they're even going to discuss it, because it might just be something in the background that you're just like, oh, there's that. And they don't really, they're not going to explain the symbol of
But then it's like on the dog tag too. You would think it would be something more intricate that they could, I don't know, put on merch or like that would mean something.
I mean, this is definitely going to be on merch. I can see it now. I'm sure it will be.
But it isn't like anything.
I know.
I don't know.
It looks like it looks like wings. I mean, it might just be like an allusion to.
Seems military.
I don't know. Maybe, or like, I don't even know. It's so interesting though. I'm glad that they're doing like the tributes being dumped into the enclosure thing, because I didn't know if they would do that, because it just seemed like when I read it, honestly, when that part came up in the book for the first time, I laughed a little bit. I was like, they're just gonna dump them into like this little zoo. No, like literally, because like also I was in kind of in a state of shock because I was so used to reading how the tributes were treated in Katniss's time, and from when Coriolanus was like, oh, they're in a cattle car, I was like, oh wait, this is gonna be a little different. It's almost comedic how much they mistreat these tributes, though. It's like, do you guys not want them to survive? Like, I mean, come on. I know they don't, only the capital really cares, but not really. And the rest of the districts don't care at all. But can you guys just try to keep them alive a little bit? I don't know. Like,
well, because there are people who are very invested in the games happening and becoming something that people care about. So it's like, so why are you treating them like this? It, like, I don't know. It's at a weird point in history, I guess, where everything's changing, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, things
Well,
are
that's-
very transitional with like things don't just happen overnight, I guess.
Which I get that, but this is still the 10th games. Like, think about that. Because granted, when we get to Katniss's time, that's 74 years of Hunger Games. Like, that's definitely a considerable amount of time for things to change very dramatically. But like, this isn't like the first games ever. This is like, there's been 10 of these, or this will be the 10th one. And it just seems like for people who are like, because I know that the Capitol itself is even still quite on the fence about, you know, like some people are against them, some people are like confused, some people are for them. Like it's kind of all over the place still. And the way that the tributes are treated, it's really like they just don't care. Like they just don't care about this really, because yeah, they're not really doing a whole lot for security. They're not really doing a whole lot for, you know, just basic things like feeding them. Which yeah, and like y'all said, like when I was reading it, it was definitely shocking, but it was also funny is not the right word, but like
I didn't want to say funny.
Yeah.
Like it was
but it's funny because you're like, oh my god, y'all don't care at all. Like
It feels like games 2 or
Yes.
maybe 3.
Mhm.
Like
it doesn't
Right,
seem
right.
like the 10th to me. It does seem like maybe 2 or 3. Like I mean, at least feed them. Like I mean,
because like
it's
I don't know, think about it, like I always have a hard time grasping time, you know, as a concept, but like
yeah.
at age 20, 10 years before that, you're age 10. Like think about how different that is, like, and how much time has lapsed like in your
That's
own
true.
personal life. So then there's like 10 games. Like if this is how rudimentary the 10th ones were, like what was the first one like? Like did it end up just being like a 1v1 to start with? Because like no one's feeding
Right?
them, no one's doing anything, nobody cares.
I'm sure they just dropped them off in the arena that day. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they were just reaped and immediately
Yeah.
sent there.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
think that's what happened. Like the next day, I think in the book they said that they wanted to engage the citizens, so that's why they drew it out and did the interviews
so
and
like
stuff
that's
like that.
the whole reason they're
Yeah.
even holding them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay. That tracks them. I mean, and they see them as subhuman. So
Yeah.
I guess it kind of makes sense that they don't really care if they're fed or. I mean, Lucy Gray has to go see a vet. I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay. This is making
So okay,
more sense
this is the first time that they have, you know, not just thrown them into the arena. So they're like, oh wait, we have to feed them.
yeah.
Yeah. Isaac in the comments says it was them just winging it because it was the first time they kept them in the Capitol for a week, which is so accurate. Just
Okay,
winging
there we
it.
go.
I guess
That's
so.
you can definitely tell. I just remember when we got to the games part of the book and there was only like what 12, 13 tributes
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? Like they would because like you see the links that they go to in Katniss's time where they have like the force field around the roof so that nobody jumps and like the foot thick glass that they have in like the tribute trading center like
Mhm.
rooms and like and then here they're just like, you know what, you just die, it's fine. Like
And, like,
I don't
that to me
really care.
sense because that's been 74 years in the making. So like in 74 years, you definitely see a lot of tributes, I guess, that would try things, you know, that would try
Yeah.
to escape, that would to like kill themselves before the games, that would like whatever. Like it that to me makes sense that by the time Katniss comes around, there's like all these extra precautions and like even not from a security standpoint, but like the tribute parade and all the outfits and
Mhm.
all the remake center and like all this stuff, right? Like that takes a long time to develop. That makes sense to me. This still like I get that that's the 10th games is the first year they're holding them in the Capitol. I still feel like that took you 10 years to figure out. But
Yeah.
who am I? Who am I to judge? Like I'm not a game maker. I
But
don't
I
know.
can see the growth being pretty rapid once the audience is interested.
Yeah.
Because
I think-
every single year it's like, okay, how do we make this better? How do we top this? How do we keep people interested? And so things are just gonna like build on top of each other for like entertainment and shock value like very
Yeah.
quickly.
I also think though, because like since this is the first, like the 10th Hunger Games is the first Hunger Games where people are allowed to bet, and it seems to be a very like government driven, like gambling sort of organization, they get a lot
Yeah.
of money from it. And like they have to make it bigger and better so that they get more and more money from it. And I think that's part of the reason why the Capitol got like super, super rich by the time at least Katniss is around, because betting and like, you know, merchandise and all of that stuff that they would sell for the Hunger Games, I'm sure most of that went back to the government. So of course they all also wanted their tributes to survive like until the games, because like if you lose one, then that's somebody bet on them, and somebody bet lots of money on them. And like, I don't know. It's just a theory. It probably, I don't even know. I'm just rambling. It's been a while since we've talked about Hunger Games. I'm very excited.
I mean, another thing that we got was the image of I what appears to be the Capitol people and like Capitol children visiting the zoo, which I thought was extremely interesting. Because they're
what a
wearing
direction.
they're wearing not exactly what I expected.
What did you expect? Because like when I read the books, I didn't necessarily expect like 1940s, 1950s outfits, but
I think I don't know what I was expecting.
I don't either. It wasn't this though, 100%.
They were like shapeless blobs in my head. Like they're
Yeah. The thing is, it's so similar. Like, obviously, they're very clean, and I don't know. I just feel like the similarities between those in the districts and the Capitol is going to be like, it's just so similar. I don't know.
I
Like, they're
agree.
just people, you know, in the districts, in the Capitol, and I think they're gonna go in that kind of direction to try and like say something about that.
And I mean, it makes sense too, even for like with the original franchise, like same thing, you know, like technology and fashion evolves over time. And at this point, Panem is like the districts and the Capitol are still very like separate, but they're the closest to each other that they will be, like, because they're just the divide is just going to keep growing from this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense, like, because by the time, you know, Katniss comes around, everyone's wearing clown costumes and and like high fashion and some kind of mix of those two things. And I also think it speaks to the fact that, like, even though the Capitol is still much wealthier than the districts, they're still coming out of the war pretty disheveled too, I guess, for Capitol standards. And like we know from how Snow describes his own upbringing and his neighbors and all of that, it's like their clothing is clean, maybe, or you know, whatever, but it's not necessarily like lavish and extravagant yet.
Yeah.
Because no one has the means to do that. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that somebody commented on the post from Ballad of Songbirds. It looks like the Vineyard Vines 2015 summer collection.
Oh my god.
It's like it's so accurate.
I mean, it's not wrong at all.
No.
I going back to my whole you know how much I love some communist propaganda stuff. It's giving me like, I swear to God, I think that what they're doing is like 1950s, 1960s Eastern European communists. Like that's just kind of what they're doing with this. And like with the outfits, it looks very 50s. Just based on like the architecture that they're using and like the signage and stuff like that. I mean, I think this is going to feel like a very different film, unfortunately. I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot of connection with the original trilogy with this. But I don't think that if you were to tell me this like a year ago, I would have been against it. But honestly, thinking about it now, it's like, I think it makes sense because for mainstream audiences, they're like, oh, I like another Hunger Games movie. But this is, I think, puts enough of a twist on it where it's like, oh no, this is like so far, like this is way before Katniss's time. You can definitely tell it looks like the 1950s. I think it adds like a different sort of shade to it that I think might make people interested.
Yeah. Definitely different than what I thought. When I was reading, I guess it makes sense though why they don't have a lot of like makeup and crazy hair and stuff. But when I was reading, I definitely pictured it more contemporary Capitol, I guess.
Yeah, why aren't they dressed like it's like the 2010s or something. Like,
Oh my god.
why do they have to
Tumblr.
go to that would be like Galaxy sweatpants, like the whole
Yes.
9 yards, like Super Hulock t-shirts. It's
No.
all I want.
Yes, yes. I love
I w-
that.
Listen, I was in that fandom and I survived Tumblr in the 2010s. But I just think it's funny that they go back to like the 1950s for this. When why did this style come back in like the 2100s or whenever this takes place? I don't know.
Immediately, I just thought of like Norman Rockwell paintings.
Yes, yes. It's
I-
definitely giving that.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. I also think, like in the real world, like what is it? Like fashion is on like a 30-year cycle or something. Like is that
That's
what it-
true. Yeah.
and it just kind of cycles through that. And like in the 90s, people were obsessed with the 60s, and like,
Mhm.
we're in the 2020s, and we've been, there's like the 90s and early 2000s revival. Like it's just kind of, it just kind of cycles. And I feel like, the Capitol would be no different in that way. And maybe that like the 1950s would be really far away from them. But I don't know. Then when we see them with like in Katniss's time, and they have all those wigs, and it's very like French royalty, like Marie Antoinette and stuff, like, okay, clearly they have access to history books and paintings and stuff. Like,
That's true.
so I don't know, the 1950s for ballad, I feel like it makes sense. I can't really explain why, but
No, I
I
get
like-
that. I feel exactly the same way. I like when I saw it at first, I like zoomed in and I was like, okay, give me some crazy hair and all of that. And I was like, wait, they all look really normal. And I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. I'm just glad that it's not my job to be like, to have somebody tell me, okay, design the Capitol costumes for
Oh my God,
ballad,
right.
because I wouldn't know
It's
what
a
to
lot
say.
of pressure.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know what to say. Like, I would just be like, 2010s Tumblr, break out the Super Hulock shirts.
plus I think like when we see them in this like leaked photo, whatever, like on their own like that, they look 1950s, and it looks like they're shooting like a period film or something, and they're trying to be historically accurate. But I think once it'll be like with everything, like once we see it in the actual film with the set and the other characters, like especially like the tributes and stuff, I don't think it'll feel like it's a 1950s period piece, I think it'll just have kind of like visual anachronism or something. I don't know.
I agree. No, I agree. It'll be weird to see like the juxtaposition of like these people dressed like this and like still futuristic. I mean, it takes place in the future, like still futuristic technology and stuff like that. It's definitely interesting though. I mean, I can't complain about it. Plus, all those extras just look so happy to be there.
I would be too, man.
Me too.
The same. I would actually be like crying in the background, just like bawling. Then there's that one extra that's like standing like far away from everybody else, the guy in brown. I don't know if you see him. He's standing to the right of everybody. He's too cool for all those other people.
Yeah.
The kids just look so cute.
I know, they're so cute. I really hope they do the whole, I mean, I'm sure that they will like do the whole zoo thing where like they talk to Lucy Gray, because that was very cute in the book. I really liked that part.
I can like see Rachel in that scene too. Like it just makes sense to me. I just see it.
Mhm.
I do too.
The Disney princess in her.
Yes. Which, I mean, you all saw that interview because she did a couple of them, I think, for D23, and she talked about Ballad a couple of times. She compared herself to Snow White, both because she plays Snow White in the live action movie and
Because
compared it to
Lucy Gray
Lucy
talks to
Gray.
animals also.
Yeah, like, which, I mean, hey, if she's saying that, that means that the whole singing the snakes thing is happening, at least. I'm glad that we have confirmation of that.
Sounds like it.
I just hope that it's not too silly.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. There's a lot of stuff in that book where I'm just like, I think this is going to come out really silly in the movie, but luckily nobody pays me to make these movies because
I'm just like, what are they gonna cut? Still,
know.
I just
Surprise,
to
it's actually
see it.
2 movies. They're gonna decide that last minute.
Oh my god.
I
could you
wouldn't be
imagine
mad.
I'm like, I would not be unhappy.
the movie ends at like some really crucial part, and then it'll just be like to be continued. Dot, dot,
My
dot.
fear there would be
That-
that the first one would flop and then they'd cancel
Yes.
part 2. So
And then
Come
kind
on,
of like, let's
Divergent.
not do that. But
all that time I spent making fun of Divergent because of that, it would be
Oh.
karma.
No.
No, it didn't. The second listen, Allegiant Part 2 didn't get canceled. It was going to be a TV movie and then was quietly canceled.
Quietly.
Everybody quit, didn't they?
Yeah, because they didn't want to do.
I didn't
because
sign up
they-
for a TV show.
Well, that's why
You know.
that's why they did it. That's why they said that they were going to make a TV show out of it because they knew that they couldn't just cancel it
Excuse
outright.
me?
So they're like, let's just say that it's going to be a TV show because everyone's going to sign out.
I feel like
And
that's
they
like
did.
gotta be 7. That's gotta be like 7 different types of contract breaches. I don't know anything about all that, but I feel like that's just they were wrong for that.
Well, Shailene Woodley did not sign up for a TV show, so I don't think it would be a
No.
contract breach. I'm just glad
guess-
that they care enough about the Hunger Games to try again.
Yeah.
And it's only one movie, so they better make it as good as it possibly can be. Because like, even if it flops, which I hope it doesn't, we still get a good movie out of it.
Yeah.
Just getting haunted by Dune 2.
No, they're gonna change the date. I'm like convinced that Lionsgate's gonna change the date, and I really hope that it's earlier rather than after
Mm.
Dune, because there's no way.
Isn't Snow White coming out now in March?
Yeah,
2024.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so they probably won't move it then.
I feel like they'd probably move it earlier, honestly. Which, if they do, I hope that that doesn't mean that they have to like cut a lot of
Or
stuff
change
or like
anything, yeah.
yeah, or like have really bad CG or whatever.
Uh-oh. Allegiant. Allegiant again.
I can't escape that freaking
Just imagine the
movie.
snakes looking like
bubbles.
really fake.
Uh,
Like those like rubber tanks you can get at like Michael's party Spears.
just like
Oh my
on
God.
strings, just like being drug around the floor.
Oh my
So,
god.
like wiggly, rubbery, squishy snakes.
Ugh.
There's just a guy over the microphone going.
Oh my god, stop.
Like that's another thing about the book. Like I know they're described as like neon, but like I am so worried about that because I'm like I would rather them be like multicolored and like but muted colors. But I just the neon snakes thing, I just can't get on
I
board.
feel like they won't because they never went that like
That crazy.
Literal.
that hard in
Yeah.
with the mutations in the original movies.
I don't know if you've seen pictures of these snakes. I think they're a real kind. I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but they're like they look like they're black snakes, but their scales are kind of iridescent. In the
Oh
light.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I feel like that would be really cool. You could even make them albino snakes to make them
Right, if
extra
they were like white and then had some sort of like
right.
shimmer to them,
Rainbow.
that sounds cool.
See,
I
that's
like
That would
why
be
that.
really cool.
when I was like doing that little poster thing, like that's what I was going for. Was I was like iridescent albino snakes. Plus, I feel like that would match the like this is a real animal. It's definitely based in reality, but it's got that like capital sheen to it. You know, it's got
Yeah.
that genetically engineered nonsense going on. Yeah, I'm also very partial to albino snakes because when I was a child, I saw a 2-headed albino rattlesnake at the San Diego Zoo, and I
Right.
really wanted to take it home, and my mom was
Oh.
having a panic attack. But yeah, I want that really bad. Anyway,
That sounds like a
Yeah.
nightmare.
They seem adorable behind glass, but like if I came up close to it, I would have a panic attack.
I love them.
Do y'all think that they're gonna? How much of the Clemencia snake bite situation?
I can see
'Cause, I
them
mean, that-
cutting that.
I really hope they don't because I really liked that part. I thought it was really sad.
But I feel like they are going to keep a lot of that in with her being in the hospital and stuff because wasn't she separated? Ashley was separated from filming when everybody
That's
else was
true.
filming.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I think that is still happening.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I really thought that they would cut that, but because
Yeah.
it seems like she had a different schedule than everyone else, she must
Yeah.
be doing something different.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, seeing her Instagram stories, and I'm like, girl, you're late to Berlin. What are you doing? And I was like,
Get
Right?
on that plane.
Get over there.
yeah, that makes sense. I definitely was worried about it too, because I was like, it's important, but does it contribute to the overall story enough to fit in a 2.5 hour long movie? I don't know. I want it to, but
it's where
Yeah.
he learns not to tell lies. So I feel
No,
like
I know
it's
it's
important.
no, I know it's important. But the thing is, like, it's hard for me to be objective, right? I'm like, to me, everything's important. I'm
Right.
like, every detail is important.
True.
Yes, it is important for me to know how the chair was positioned in the room. Okay, like, there's so many things like that, and I have no real gauge for what is actually important to a filmmaker.
Well, whatever they end up cutting, I'm sure it'll be okay, I guess. I mean, like Catching Fire, I think is a good example because like
Yeah,
that is everybody still hails it as like one of the best book to movie adaptations ever. And they did cut like a good
A
bit
lot.
of it.
Bonnie and Twelve who?
Yeah, like literally. Oh, it's so funny.
Katniss
So
like breaking her foot, jumping over the fence, and doing all.
literally
Yeah, Peppermints
about-
who?
I'm in a situationship with this guy right now. And if you guys know what a situationship is, like we don't know what we are right now. It's kind of like
Right.
weird. But I made him read the books because he'd seen the movies.
Oh yeah.
And he's on Catching Fire right now, but he finished listen, this is like my test. This is like if I'm gonna
I get
date
it.
you have to read these
Yeah.
books.
That's what I did with my current boyfriend. I was like, you have to read all of these books or else we're not actually getting together. It's like a
no,
test.
literally, it is. And like, so he finished the Hunger Games. Oh God, like 2 days ago, I think. And like he kept being like, "Oh, it's just a lot like the movie. Like I like it, but it's just kind of like reading the movie." And then when he got to like the part with imitations, and he was like, "It's the tributes." Like he was freaking out about it. I was like, "Yes, yes, it is."
I love that.
But like Catching Fire, he started Catching Fire, and he's already like, "Wait, what's this? Like this wasn't in the movie." I'm like, "No."
Mhm. There's like, that part in Catching Fire when they have the medicine in the arena, and then Katniss and Finnick decide it's going to be a good
I
time to
love
prank
that
everybody.
part. Yes,
I love that part too, but I'm like, y'all are really unhinged because you're like in the middle of a death game where anything could kill you at any moment ever, and you're like, I'm gonna pull a prank.
Well,
I'm
what
gonna
is it
pull a
that
prank
Katniss
right now.
What is it that Katniss says in that part though? She was just like, "When's the next time I'm gonna have a little bit of fun?" or something like that,
No,
like along those lines.
It's totally valid. Like I
It's
totally
unhinged
get it,
though.
but I'm also like, you're crazy for that. Like, and it's cute because it's like Katniss and Finnick being able to be friends for the first time, because it's like she's still like so suspicious of him for such a long time, and it's a great moment. Like it's great, but I just remember being like, girl, what?
I mean, that's a part though that like before Catching Fire, the movie came out, I was like, "Oh, that needs to be in the movie. Like that needs to be in it."
Mhm.
And then when I watched the movie, I was like, "Wait, what? Like I don't care. It's fine. This is a
I didn't
perfect
even-
movie."
Like by the time the Catching Fire movie came out, I had even forgotten about that little part, and so it's like clearly it's not crucial to the story. But I agree
Yeah.
with you, where I'm like, there's so many of these little things. I'm like, no, this is vital to the entire series, not just this one installment, the entire series. And then it's not in the movie, and then I don't even remember that it's not in the movie. I will say
Yes.
this: the real crime is the underwear scene in Mockingjay. Release the tapes.
They have the deleted scene, don't they? Like
It's not
at least kind of
released as a
similar.
scene.
It was a behind the scenes version of it, like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was used for B-roll, but didn't actually release the scene,
Yeah,
which they should.
because that
It's
was
very
like the
upsetting.
funny thing to happen in Mockingjay ever, and it
Yeah.
should have been there. But I understand why it didn't fit the tone,
Just a
but it
little
was
bit.
important.
I think
Anyway,
there's quite a few funny things in Mockingjay that they
I
just
think-
cut out because of the tone,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
get.
They even added some though that like the whole, even though she didn't get to say I kill Snow, she just said my my family gets to keep the cat.
Prim
Like
gets to
that.
keep her cat.
Yeah, that was so
Okay.
funny. That was very good. And the deleted
Yeah.
scene in Mockingjay Part 1 that I kind of wish that they would have kept, but I understand why
The
they cut
makeup?
it. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that scene. I was so upset when I saw it because I was like, oh, this would have been so good in the movie, but I get why they cut it.
Yeah.
I hope we get a lot of good deleted scenes for this one because I do think Lionsgate's sitting on a lot of deleted
Mhm.
scenes, especially for the first movie. Like, where are those? I don't know where the Lionsgate vault is, but like, I'm gonna break in and find them at some point.
Yeah, where is the 10th anniversary
Ugh.
director's cut?
Literally, it made me so mad. They should do it. They should just do it at this point.
I want deleted scenes. I want bloopers. I know that's asking for a lot, but I know it's out there. I need it.
We all need
No,
it.
I hope whoever's on the ballad set is like, doing the B-roll and the DVD extras is getting some good content.
I hope so
I want
too.
all of that.
I'm sure they seem like a fun group to like film with. I'm sure they're getting some good content.
What if Tom's croissant thing is like a running on set because
an
it's bread and it's panem. Think about it.
It's an extra called Croissant Chronicles. Like,
Oh my god, please.
I would die. I would love that.
I'm so ready for interviews.
I'm we're just all ready for everything at this point. And we always get back to this point in the podcast where we're just like, just release the damn thing. Just do it.
We could just keep talking about ballad for hours, I think.
I mean, yeah. That's what I signed up for. I'm here for it. I just, even with all of these set photos, I know I've said it before, I still can't imagine this being a movie. Like,
I know. It feels
Especially
very
'cause-
similar to like before the first movie came out.
yes, and like we are getting like some good set photos and content and stuff like that, but I just don't think it's enough. It's granted though, for Mockingjay, especially Part 1, we didn't get a whole lot because they filmed it all like inside essentially. But like I think I'm just being thirsty and just want more, just
Mhm.
always, all the
Oh,
time.
they just need to release some more official things to keep
Yeah,
us
I was
satisfied.
Like everything we have is all because of like leaked set photos and stuff, but it's like social media. That's
Yeah.
like, which like, not that social media didn't exist for the time of the original franchise, but it wasn't
as
what it is
big.
now. Yeah, and it like, especially for like fandom spaces, I guess, like it wasn't this widespread, it was mainly like a few places here and there, but I feel like the internet is so much bigger, or at least that's just how it feels now. I don't know.
No, it
Um,
totally is.
But if there's like, if we're looking at, like, if we didn't have Instagram and Twitter and all this stuff, right, to like share all these photos on, realistically, we would have the release date, the ballad, like the animated teaser trailer, the first look, and like the official, like, cast announcements and like the articles stuff. But like, those aren't first looks or anything. Those are like headshots.
Yeah.
That's it though. Like, we have nothing else right now, and it's still somewhat early, I guess, but yeah, it definitely feels dry as far as like official acknowledgements of this
And yet-
movie's existence.
And yet we still have talked about everything that's leaked for an hour. like the few set photos and the casting announcements.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot to dissect there, I feel like.
There is.
It's
I'm
important.
just. It's very important. I'm super curious to just see like what they're filming next. I saw that they posted a like extras call, I
Mhm.
guess,
Right.
for just
yeah,
men.
and peacekeepers. It's gotta be peacekeepers.
More
I
peacekeepers.
mean, it has to be. But like, does it though? Because there are like women peacekeepers as well. No, like at least. I mean, I know in
Directors have
Katniss's time there
separate-
are, but that's true. It might be like bunker scenes or something like that, or like not the bunker, but like barracks.
Right.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I can't think of what that would be like in the Capitol or
Right.
I just want them to start filming capital scenes because I just really feel like they're gonna have to do a lot outside. Because I feel like there's a lot of walking around outside scenes, at least in the books. I mean, I'm sure they would definitely condense a lot of that for the movie, but there has to be some exterior scenes.
Snow's like always running around the capital. That's what they're cutting out, though. That's what they're gonna condense. It's like when he runs out on the bench and it's just like, I don't know, fed up with life. That's the scene I want.
It's like his 27 runs out over the Corso or whatever it's called.
Yes.
And it's just making his way down the Corso like 15 times in a chapter.
Running up and down the stairs because the elevator doesn't work.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
He's just like a video game character, like on a quest.
I want a Rocky montage, like climbing, like running up the steps.
I just want a really cool shot of him walking up steps into like a Capitol building. I don't know. That's just like in my mind. I want to see the Capitol more.
Yeah.
And that's also why I'm just like, please show us these exterior shots because I think we're gonna get a lot of those, hopefully. And I want to see what they're gonna do with the Capitol with this because we have a general idea, but like not really. Of how they're going to be doing the Capitol. And like there was that interview that Francis Lawrence did. Oh God. It was during a casting announcement, I think. And he was saying how like it's a totally different Capitol and like a totally different like games and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with it? I just want to see it.
Same.
I'm so anxious about it.
It's gonna be good though. It's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good. Like everything that I see about it, like I'm always my initial reaction to every like set photo, especially, I'm just like, oh, okay, not what I imagined, but like I'll take it. Like I could see this. So I think that by the time the movie comes out, I'm just gonna be like ravenous and be like, yes, give it to me, give it all to me.
Yeah, I guess I like seeing the set photos because I can get used to things.
Yes.
I like that.
It won't be as jarring when we go into it because like I would not go into this movie blind. If it leaks online before, I'd be very tempted to watch it. Like I do not. It just means so much to me, and I'm sure to all of you too. I just want to make sure it's done well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are we good
Ballad.
on ballad?
We did our ballad talk.
I mean, we'll make our connections back when we discuss Mockingjay.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Speaking of which, shall we take out our books and dive right in? I think I got the chapters right for tonight.
7 and 8, right?
7 and 8, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I posted it and then Chase messaged us and said something and it threw me off and I was worried that I got the wrong chapters because I missed last time.
Never let them know your next move.
Amen. There he is. Okay, so chapter 7 is essentially chapter 7 and 8 are the District 8 moments.
This is funny because I feel like, well, we didn't just talk about this, Holly, but I just edited the episode that came out yesterday. And so I feel like we just talked about this because this was one of your favorite scenes in the movie.
Mm-hmm. And
I feel
it's
like
well
Gale
Pretty
really
true.
shines in this chapter, to be honest.
The
I hate to
moan.
say it, but
Moaning and
I like
groaning.
Gale and Katniss in this chapter.
I do too.
No, they
like
work
that.
really well together. I do, as much as I hate Gale. Yes, I wish that Suzanne would have like written more of just like them hunting together because we really only get like a few scenes of that because it does show how well that they like really click. And then like the other scenes that we see with them is just like, oh, Gale hates Peeta because he likes me, blah blah blah. Like, but like seeing them work in tandem like this, like it shows how, yeah, they'd make good hunting partners. I could see why they have like a good friendship.
I don't like this chapter because it introduces her.
I was gonna say, first page we get Chase's fave.
Wait, Cressida,
Yeah,
our queen, Natalie Dormer.
Chase is not a fan.
Wait, why?
Oh
Oh
boy.
God.
Jeez.
Here we go.
Chase, I'm sorry. I've
Her,
entered the
Lenny
discussion.
Kravitz, and Liam Hemsworth should have been recast in my opinion. We'll let it go.
I do not agree with
I guess
Liam
Lenny
Hemsworth.
would have to. I guess Lenny would have to be cast first. He was more just like, "Hey, do you want to come
Given
by
the
and
part.
start?" Yeah. I guess you actually have to try out to actually be.
He
an
was just
actor.
he just walked by the audition room one day and they were like, "Hey, Lenny Kravitz, come on in."
I think that's how it went down, actually.
No,
I
I
think
wouldn't
he
be
did a
surprised.
great.
I
a
was
great
I
there.
job.
think
That's definitely how it went.
I think he did a good job. He seemed very
Yeah.
I mean, he was what I wanted from Sita, just like a sweet man, just a sweet
He
man
just
with
has
full
no
eyeliner.
emotion. He's like,
But see,
remember, I'm
I
betting
feel
on
like
you.
they also just didn't give
That's-
Cinna enough.
They
I don't
didn't.
know. He
I never
he
felt like
could've
he was
been
that
more.
big of a deal in the books.
Yeah, you don't even like Cinna. So.
he's a
I
very.
just never
he's
feel
a
like he
very,
had that much of an
calm
impact.
character.
Yeah,
Like he's a very
maybe
calm
that's
and
it because
quiet
he's so
character,
crazy.
and that's kind of why Katniss likes him so much because he just kind of sticks to himself. He's not awful to her, and he's just kind of a quiet, calm presence that Katniss desperately needs.
Especially
And I
like
feel
when you're
like-
surrounded by
Right.
capital people, like
Exactly.
because especially in the books, the capital people are like a lot.
They're
like a
also,
lot.
oh my god, yeah, they're next level for sure. So I mean, yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say that he's my favorite casting choice ever or anything, but I feel like he was fine.
He did a solid job, at least in my opinion,
Yeah.
a solid job. Cressida, though, I understand why you think that about Natalie Dormer because she does kind of give her lines very like, Katniss, how do you feel about this? Like, I mean, like, well, while children are dying in the background, like,
Yeah. But I feel
But
like
she's
reading
so
this
casual.
That's what she
chapter
needs to
in the
do.
book, it's like that as well.
yeah.
So I
and
don't think
that's
it's Natalie Dormer so
I
much
think
as
that's
the
just
character.
the character,
And we kind
'cause,
of
like,
dislike that she's, treating Katniss the way that she is.
And
But
know
she kind of
something,
has
though?
to.
She kind of has to. And also, it makes sense. Even though she defected from the Capitol and chose to fight for the rebel cause, she still grew up Capitol. You can take the girl out of the Capitol, but you can't take the Capitol out of the girl. And I think that shows in her approach and demeanor and stuff around Katniss, where she's kind of abrupt and like doesn't necessarily know how to be sensitive about what Katniss is feeling. To the
She's just
extent
doing
that
her
like someone
job.
like Haymitch could. Yeah, like I think she's pretty cool for actually making that big of a jump, is actually leaving the Capitol and wanting to, do the right thing or whatever.
Yeah. I do like Cressida a lot. I don't know. I don't see the hate though of Natalie Dormer. I thought she did a pretty good job. Plus, my manager, like at the time that I went to the Mockingjay premiere, like really loved Natalie Dormer, like had the biggest crush on her. And Natalie Dormer, like I asked her to like say hi to my manager for like a video, and she did. It was very
Aw.
sweet. And my manager texted me and like started like freaking out. She's like, I can't believe she said hi to me. Like, I have a soft spot for her. But then like we also get introduced to Masala, which I do wish Masala had more of an impact in the movies. I liked his look.
Mhm.
His piercings are not
His-
in the right spots. It
They're
drives
not in
me
the
Oh,
right
what?
spots. His
Oh,
piercings
some
are
of
not
them
in the
are,
right
like,
spots.
This is an honor to meet you.
So good. It's like it reminded me a little too much. I will say this though, for the actor, I know that he said that he was down to get the piercings for real,
Yeah, he
and
was.
they didn't let him. And I wish they would have just let him, because to me, not to dog on Divergent again, but like Jai Courtney's eyebrow piercing is so wrong. Like it's horizontal, which I have one of those. That's cool, but it's so far up on his forehead. I'm like, this does not work. It doesn't work. And you can't tell me it's the future. No, that's a cop out. Like I don't like that.
If anything,
Um,
they'd be better at giving piercings in the future.
And Masala, it was just too distracting for me on that front. I need to look up a picture now so I can tell you which one specifically, but that's all I
Well,
got.
That actor that's the singer Diana Ross's son, which I always think is just kind of funny to me. Oh, what's his name? Something Ross.
Evan Ross.
Not
Evan.
not
Evan Ross.
Evan Ross. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm looking at
He's
it
married
right
to
now.
that girl that lip sync.
Yes.
SNL.
Yes.
Whoops. That's your claim to
Let-
fame. The fame.
Listen, somebody's got to get somehow. Like, if you want to be famous, you have to get there somehow.
Amen.
So I'm looking at him right now. It's the lower lip piercings, because like
They're like
look
tattoos.
well, he has tattoos on his lip, which is they're too dark to be right, but that's besides the point. I'm looking at like the actual like spikes that he has coming out of, like, it's like so, and I know that is a possible area to pierce, but it's just so not common that it just looks like they were going for snake bites and then they just didn't know what they were doing. I don't know, it bothers me. Maybe I'm just being a hater, but like, I don't know, that always bothered me. And then his ear piercings are okay for the most part, I guess. I don't know. I just wish they would have let him get the real piercings in the correct spots and let a piercer do that. It would have looked way better. But I just care about this because I'm in that whole vibe. But it's
I mean,
super not important.
As somebody with virgin skin and has never had a piercing,
Oh my
I
God.
can't tell. I cannot tell. I'm just like,
I
okay,
know.
cool. I
Yeah,
guess that's where that
same.
goes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I only like pay attention to this because like I'm in that world, but like it's really not a big deal. It just, I guess, in a way that somebody might be irked by Natalie Dormer, I get that for the song.
we
But
we
I
all
really-
have our things.
We all
right.
have our
We're not
things.
perfect. You know, it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good.
I am. Oh,
I mean, speaking
Yeah.
of Natalie Dormer, though, and Cressida's hair, it's very different. I mean, it's not very different in the movies, but like she has hair in the movies.
Right. But she was willing to shave it all off. You know, people are willing
Yes.
to do anything to be in the
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
I'm curious as to why
Anything,
Lionsgate was
Emily.
like, no, let's not make it more like
AJ,
accurate.
no,
Like,
let's not go there.
I think because they would have gotten her and Johanna mixed up maybe in the second movie. It would have been kind of confusing for people who didn't know.
I mean,
Good
but granted,
point.
the
You have two
tattoos on
bald
the
ladies
head.
walking around.
Mm. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Mm.
That is an astute point, Chase.
You're welcome.
Thank
I
you.
give it out freely.
Wow,
Well-
you're a very generous man.
Let's delete that comment. I don't- That's odd.
I'm dying right now.
Bleep,
Yeah,
bleep.
we'll do that.
Thank you.
So whoever was here live got to witness that one line forever.
You all have to
Yeah.
sign NDAs now.
Yeah, send them to my lawyer, please.
Oh, okay.
We also
Who ordered
get
him?
introduced to
Oh,
We haven't heard that one in a second.
no.
I don't have my soundboard with me.
what are you doing? What is it? Amateur hour?
I
It's
know.
because Ronnie always fills the space.
Ronnie's good at talking. So before you joined us, Ronnie, we used to have, well, we still have.
Oh my
Wait,
Yeah,
y'all,
god!
I'm
soundboard.
so sorry. I had to run to the
That's-
restroom.
We have this soundboard, and our favorite line is "Who ordered this pig?" So anytime that we have an awkward silence, we play that "Who ordered this pig?" sound. So
It's also literally the
Hey,
only
hey.
sound on the soundboard.
Who ordered this pig?
it's
Did you
a
order
work
this
in
pig?
progress.
That's one of
There was
my.
some-
Didn't work in
else?
progress.
There was something else. What was the other thing?
Um,
I think it was
Which one was-
Caesar's laugh.
I need Max to
I don't
comment.
even
Oh, it was
remember.
powerful hallucinations, wasn't it?
Oh yes, powerful
Oh, yeah.
Powerful
hallucinations.
That whole scene is so good though. I like just seeing Caesar
So
Glickman
good.
walk through a forest being scary. Apologies for adding to the absence though.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, Max should be watching this. So Max, if you're watching it, work on the soundboard right now, please. Thank you.
Max, we appreciate you.
I also need a this is a special request. Damn you, Gail.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Damn you, Gail.
Yeah,
I
put
had
your
that as my
request
ringtone. I had that as my ringtone in 2011.
That's like
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
We need
love
it's a clock.
It's a clock.
It's a clock.
It's a clock.
What about the baby?
Oh no.
Oh,
You have to say it for this chapter. You have to say it.
Is it in? Oh yeah, it is in this chapter.
It is.
Oops. It
Didn't
shows I didn't read.
you
I'm
read,
sorry.
right? So you would know.
I mean, yeah, I read it.
I lost it.
Well, the part, like the what about the baby, like that didn't really get me until I saw the movie because I just thought that the way that she asked it was kind of funny. What about the baby?
Well, it's not really even in the book. Like it's not a
No.
quote that someone
Oh yeah,
says.
no, because she does like just Boggs is just like miscarriage.
Yeah, literally.
We don't have time
Which
for this.
Boggs is so sweet in this, and like I
love
love
him.
Mahershala Ali. I think he did such a great job with Boggs, but I wish I had more of his like sweet moments because he does have like a lot more.
I literally
than
just
like,
wrote a note that like Boggs is such a legend. I mean,
Literally,
the way he's taking care of Katniss, like all throughout these chapters, and putting up with Katniss.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But you know, I just love him for the "because you've earned it" line. It's just
Yes.
it
So
breaks
good.
every single time. I'm like, dang it. I know it's coming up. I know it's gonna happen. And I know how I'm gonna feel about it. And every time I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming. That was so good.
It's so good.
Give that man an Oscar.
The only thing
Literally.
that breaks me
two.
out of that scene is when she says, or he's like, you know, eventually the war is going to come to an end and we're going to need a new president. And she's like, no one would
Yes.
think of me as a leader. And it's almost like, yeah, they probably would. Like, I don't even know. It's kind of comical
Yeah.
because it sounds like she's like, yeah, they're probably coming after me to be the leader. And it's like, you
In
know,
the
it,
book,
just
it's
admit
so
it.
much more like even now in these chapters, like she's realizing how much power she has. And
Mhm.
like she knows it from the beginning, and like she's worried about Coin from the beginning, and like I feel like we as a reader are, but the movie kind
Yeah.
of doesn't have that as a thread going.
No, because
Yeah,
they
'cause
kind
to
of
me it comes off as, go ahead.
no. You go ahead, please.
I was gonna say it comes off like comedic almost, like it's like when you say, like when someone knows that they're like obviously like a pretty person and someone says, oh, you're so pretty, they're like, no, I'm not. It's like, why are you denying it? Like, just own it. Quit
Why
being
are you the
stupid.
way that you are?
It's like they just want more compliments, and that's almost what it sounds like in the movie. It kind of cringes me.
Oh
In the
no, I
movie,
hate
it's more
compliments.
like, oh, we have to have this conversation because we're quickly approaching the end here, where Coin is gonna be evil. So
And she's also 17. Like, Miss
Yeah,
Girl, do you really think you're gonna be
literally.
president?
I mean, I could, but
Are you
Right.
17?
I could
Yes.
have been.
Wait, how long have you been 17?
Oh my god,
Oh, no.
I love
Wow.
you.
See it.
I just died, Ronnie. I love you.
I love you too. Listen,
Yes.
bring me on your
I don't get it. What is
Twilight
it?
talk.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Iconic.
Was that a movie reference or?
movie reference?
I don't know if
Movie
you've heard
reference.
it. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of obscure.
It's
What's
like
Twilight?
indie.
Yeah, it wasn't really like a.
Is that the movie with the
Cultural
werewolves and
phenomena.
stuff?
Unfortunately, yeah. Sorry, Team Edward. I'm Team Edward.
Team
through and
Edward,
through.
Oh, of course.
always.
Wait, of course.
There's a wrong answer there.
I mean, Team Nobody in that relationship though, because they're both very toxic. But if I
True.
had to choose,
No, but I love it.
We
same.
love toxic.
What was
Holly.
that SNL sketch that Harry Styles did where he was like, we must stop toxic against the community or something like that? I don't know if
Wait.
you guys have seen that. Harry Styles did an SNL sketch where he was like the social media person for like a bread company or like a jam company. I can't remember, but he kept posting very how do I say this? I don't know what the age range of this podcast is. Homoerotic posts on
God.
on the company's Instagram page, and he was like,
no.
oh, I hate it when other gays do this. We must stop toxic in the community, and that's how I feel. It's the
Boy.
funniest. It's so funny. Y'all have to watch it. It's so good. No toxicity here. We don't want any toxicity in the community.
But
I
back
was
to
just
Mockingjay.
thinking-
Spit on Chris Pine.
I don't know if he
Ooh.
actually did that or not though.
He did
I
not
don't
do it.
know.
I saw it
think
from
it
an
was just
angle
so-
from behind, and he did not do it.
Yeah, I think it was just something behind Chris Pine that moved at the same time that Harry moved his face.
Mhm.
This whole like internet discourse reminds me of the dress is definitely white and gold, you guys.
Oh my god.
It has the same
Did anyone
energy.
even go watch that movie? Like, what did they even make so far?
Wait,
My
it hasn't
friend-
come out.
My
It
friend
comes
saw
out
an
on
early
Friday.
screening of it. My friend saw an early
God.
screening of it last night and said that it was fine.
People said it was crazy. I'm going to it this week, and I'm like, I'm ready for it to be crazy.
I don't want to give them any more attention or money.
I want to give them all my money.
But I
Because of
also
Harry.
I live for the drama of the
Yes.
behind the scenes
Miss
action.
Flo.
Well, it was a
Ah,
fun day on Twitter.
It was such
Flo,
a fun day on
like
Twitter.
progressive lady.
No, it's Olivia. Or wait, what's her name? Isn't it
Florence
Olivia Wilde?
Pugh.
Yeah, she went
Florence
behind Florence Pugh's back and
Her name is not Pug.
What? No,
Oh
it's
my.
Pugh.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god.
Who ordered me?
Who ordered this
Pug?
pig? Wait,
I
wait.
thought it was Pug. I've been saying
ordered this
Pug.
You.
Like the dog.
Because you
Oh,
say it
no.
all the time.
I
No,
just-
in my head, I'm like, Florence Pug hates Olivia Wilde. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I used to
I'm
think
just-
that Tame Impala was Tame Impala until I spelled it out.
I don't even know who that
No.
is.
I totally get that.
Is that a person?
It's a
Or
band.
it's a
And
It's
Oh.
an
one
artist.
person.
Yeah, it's an
a
artist.
It's one person.
Well, when I hear
My best friend
Impala, I either
Leandra-
think of a deer or a car.
Tame Impala. And Florence
Tame.
Pug.
Wait.
Florence and the Impala.
Hey.
It's like me with Timothy Chalamet.
No.
Chalamet.
He scares me.
He
he has a very scary face.
His
It
like
scares
his
me.
new audio about like the world ending, like how
Oh my
I forgot what
god!
it was.
Like we're dissolving as a society or
Yeah.
whatever the hell he said. Like
Did y'all see the picture where they said he looked like Mr. Tumnus off Narnia?
yes,
Oh my
God.
It's like
Yeah.
red
That
carpet
was
thing.
pretty funny.
Well,
I
if,
was like-
if y'all, oh, go ahead.
They thought
I
it
was
funny
gonna say,
too.
don't do my guy Mr. Tumnus like that.
Well, if
Spit.
you guys, yes, if you guys think that this podcast is niche, there's another podcast that I really like to listen to. I've not been on it. It's called Wonka Watch, and they talk about the new Willy Wonka live action
my God.
movie with
What?
Timothy
Yes.
Chalamet. And
What
it's
a
like
name.
these like if you think we're starving for news, I don't know how
Mhm.
these girls come up with it, but they come up with
Wonka
something every
Watch.
episode. It's so funny.
Watch.
It's the funny. They talk about set photos and stuff. Like they're hysterical. Like I don't
Yeah,
even
that's
really wanna
hilarious to
watch
have
it.
something like so niche.
It's like why are we caring about the Timothy
Yeah, like-
Chalamet Wonka movie when it doesn't come out until like late next year? I think, or like I think really late next year, like December 2023. Granted, though, our movie comes out in
Sherry.
November 2023, so we can't really say anything. But you know, people have an audience for things, I guess.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory scares me.
I agree.
Yeah.
It scared me when I was
Yeah.
It's just weird. I mean, no hate to anyone who likes it, but for me, it's just not my vibe.
Don't read the sequel book, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, because that will traumatize you. They literally go to hell. Like they go to hell.
What?
And it's in the basement of Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Is like he literally made a portal to hell. I'm not even kidding you.
I'm scared.
I'm not. They also go to space and open up a
Oh my-
space
Oh
hotel.
my gosh, I'm about to look at the Spark Notes.
You
Johnny Depp
should.
just scares me in that role.
Yeah. Yeah. He's very scary. So we're just on the first page of Mockingjay if you're just joining us.
Yeah.
Wait, but
I keep
Well,
trying to
Cressida
say that
derailed the thing.
we also get introduced to Paler, but that's on page
Uh,
2.
well, let's flip the page then. I mean, we gushed about Boggs and then Paler. Well, I mean, also, I do have to say this is probably one of the best scenes in I think all the original movies. Like, I think they did District 8 really well.
Mhm.
I wish that they could have made it. I mean, this is my thing with all the Hunger Games movies. I wish they could have made it more violent. I don't know why. I just wish that they would have gone there for certain things. But I do think it was very impactful and sad when
Yeah.
but that's later. I don't want to get into it now. I mean, we're only
It
on
would just
the
have to
second
be
page.
rated R if they
I
showed more blood, if they showed more any kind of gore.
Was there
I
a
know
lag
there's some,
then?
well, this is another little side tangent though about Mockingjay Part 2. Like, I know when they were filming it, they had like extensive like gore makeup on like children and stuff, and they
You
like
see like
they
none of
couldn't
that.
they couldn't show any of it. So I'm just
Wow.
like, release the
Release the
gory
tape.
children cut.
Oh my god.
That's the director's cut.
Wonka watch.
Release children.
That's all I want, because I mean that scene is very upsetting, but like this scene as well. Like, I think that they got just how upsetting and claustrophobic it is when she goes into the hospital. Then we meet Commander Paler, who Queen love Commander Paler.
I like how
Future
she
pro-
has to like prove herself to Paler. Like just reading this and her like being like, oh, I have to stand my ground and prove to her that I'm just as strong as she is. I'm like, you survived 2 Hunger Games. Like, chill.
Yeah. But I get how out of place she feels, like showing up all clean
Yeah,
and like
I love that
everything
description.
around her is so
Yeah.
dirty.
Like beside her, beside her my spanking new outfit, scrubbed and shiny, I feel like a recently hatched chick, untested and only just learning how to navigate the world.
Gosh,
Little
I love
baby.
Suzanne.
Oh, me too. She's so good.
And the way she mentions like that, I think Paler's like bandage like needs to be
Around her
changed or like
neck,
needed to be
yeah.
changed 3 days
Oh.
ago, and so it just
Yeah.
gives you like your imagination of like, oh, like what that looks like instead of just saying it's bloody or something.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Looks like, smells like, all of it.
Yep. Ugh.
Hate to say it, but
I
And
thought
our
it was.
queen,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say our queen Patina Miller, who plays Paler. I love her so much.
Mm.
She's a Tony Award winning Broadway actress. She's so good.
I wish we got to see more of her,
Me
Mhm.
especially
too.
like with
Yeah.
what's in this chapter that like I forgot about. Like she's really
She's
involved
important.
in it.
this is, I guess, sort of a spoiler for Mockingjay, but she ends up in a
She's
really
the president.
important spot. Yeah.
We
Mhm.
can spoil a book that's like more
Yeah,
than
I
10 years
think
old
we're
at this
good.
point, and a movie that
I'm
came
just
out
being
in
facetious. But yeah, I mean, she's like important, you know? Just
where's
want
my
more.
where's our Paler backstory book?
Ooh,
Actually,
that's actually a really good thought.
Like, I mean, she
Interesting.
survived a Hunger Games as well. Y'all, which Hunger Games did she win?
Oh, she didn't win the Hunger Games. That was
Oh, that was
District
Lime.
Lime.
That was
Yeah.
Lime.
For District 2.
But Paler would still have a very interesting backstory, and they like. There's not a lot given about her backstory where I feel like Suzanne could have a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
Plus District 8 world building.
Yes,
Yeah.
District 8 is such a cool
Ooh.
district.
Maybe we'd get Bonnie and Twelve, like just a.
Oh my
glimpse of them.
god. I am really upset that they cut Bonnie and 12 for the movie. I know that it didn't add like it added a lot to the book, I think, but like definitely I can see why they cut it for the movie. But I loved
I think they're
them.
in
I
Catching
was
Fire.
the book, yeah.
No, in the movie, I think in District 8, it cuts to 2 women. It cuts to an older woman and a younger woman. And those are the only 2 people they cut to in the whole district. And then it goes
Oh my
back to a speech.
god. No,
Mm.
I
That was a
slight
nod.
No, I know
Yeah.
exactly.
And
what
they're,
it's-
yeah.
Chase with the District 4 boats. Bonnie and Quill.
Yeah, y'all
believe
didn't pay
that.
attention enough to that tour.
Hovercrafts.
I memorized,
Have we
I
even seen
scrutinized those
this?
districts. Yeah, because that is the day, is that the day that they practice where they're, I think when they go to the tour, that's the day that they practice the positions they want to be in for the rebellion. And so that was the
Yeah.
day they had to have been in the town, I would think. So,
No,
slight nod, but
Chase, you're a genius. That's really good, actually. We need to
I'm
ask
probably
Francis
just
Lawrence.
making it up.
No, we need to ask Francis Lawrence right now. Somebody just text him. It's fine.
Got it.
I only
Thank
have Gary
you.
Ross's
Oh.
number.
Oh, same. Oh, imagine if Gary Ross came back for Ballad. Sorry, that was
Oh my gosh.
that was such an invasive thought. I mean, I would have loved it. I'm sure it would have been really good too. Lots of more jerky camera movements, but
Oh gosh.
Shake.
I didn't.
No.
I liked the shake. Like, I hated the shaky cam at first, but it's grown on me so much. Like the first movie in general, it's my second favorite next to Catching Fire. now.
No.
Ah.
I like it in theory, but then it's like, no, stop moving the camera. I want to see this book come to life. I want to see stuff.
I get that.
Best movie.
Controversial.
Let's see. So,
Oh,
Page
God,
3.
I was just about to send the audio clip, but I was too slow.
For
I'm
what?
not awarded this big.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
I always
Never
love that,
too
like
late.
in the background, where like after he goes, who orders this pig? And they're all like, hey, hey, like they're like a group of Italian men, like you get some of this pig. Like,
It must have been fun to be one of those extras.
oh,
doing that
100%.
scene.
That had to have been the first time they'd ever been around each other because that's such an awkward
Yeah.
Yeah.
situation. Like you can
Yeah.
tell it's like we don't know what to say. Hey.
It's also so
Hey.
clearly like improv. Like there was definitely
Mhm.
no script. for
like
that.
like the deleted tribute interviews from the
Yes.
first movie.
Oh,
Those are, I'm
don't.
sorry, those are
Mm-mm.
so bad. Those are so
We
They were
support
awful.
them. I love them.
Holly.
I love I love those deleted. I love them, but like some of the actors, I'm just like, oh my,
Oh,
stop it! Like,
I
just
know.
stop
They
it.
shouldn't have improved at all. They should have
And
given them
just
lines.
lines, yeah. Where I think it's like Marvel's like,
Mhm.
Oh.
yeah, I'm better than everybody. Like
Ugh.
I'm just like, shut up! Like, it's just, shut
I
up.
agree
The
with
fact-
that one.
You know,
The
and I
fact that
thought
that's
about
Dennis
killing
Quaid's son.
someone else. It's like, no.
I will say this though, at least Stanley Tucci as Caesar in those deleted scenes is so scary. He's so
Mhm.
creepy.
And he's
We've talked about
good.
this
He's so
times.
good.
He's so good at
so good.
improving too. And the other like,
Well, he's like a
just
seasoned
these
actor
kids.
though. The other ones
Yeah.
are like 12. So like
They're like the recently hatched chicks. That's what they are.
Bring it back.
I mean, hey, at least Dennis Quaid got to come back for Catching Fire for that one scene where Katniss shoots him in a
Well,
in a
that's
delusion.
debatable amongst this group, I think.
Wait, no, he actually was there. Like, he actually went there for the filming.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, he was flown there just for that. I'm not like, there's an interview that he gave
For
about it.
him.
I always
Must be
believe
nice.
that.
But like I hope he got a good paycheck for just going back to get shot in the middle of New Jersey and leaving. Like,
They
Alright,
called
good
me,
job,
but
good
I
job.
was busy that day.
yeah, probably not. He wasn't cast in The Boys yet, so he had a pretty free schedule.
His dad hadn't gotten him a job yet.
Oh
He's
my
busy
God.
now.
Just playing. I'm just kidding. Please delete that too.
Listen,
Oh my
there's
God. And our
little
next
bit of
guest on the
nepotism, baby.
podcast is
there's Jack Quaid.
Getting Jack.
I
The
wish.
lawyer.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
like next week we'll be like, hey guys, so we have some really awesome news. We got a cease and desist.
In true Lionsgate fashion.
I'm-
Oh my
Mhm.
God. We're really gonna get shut down now.
No, we're fine.
We should have called ourselves the Hob or something. I don't know.
That was a fan site
I know.
back. I wonder
Back in
if the Hob gals
day,
are
the good old
at.
days. I hope they're good.
I hope they're fine.
Yeah,
I need to check
remember
up on
fan
them.
sites?
I don't
But I would
actually,
give.
sadly.
Well, like
I was like,
when all this was starting back up again, I was definitely out of touch because I was like, let's start back up Jabberjays, like the fan site again. And they're all like, Ronnie, everything's moved to social media now. And I'm like, do people not
What?
go on fan sites anymore? Like, I guess not. Like,
Right?
I'm very upset about it. I love a good fan site, but now I just feel old.
hmm Like nobody would ever. I'm just thinking about myself, like going to the website like every morning, like checking for news. You know, like what-
literally every
What,
single,
what
like,
happened?
I had like 5 different Hunger Games news sites on rotation every single morning. Like in the middle of school, even like just be checking it and everything. It's like now I just go to Twitter and just search at Battle of Songbirds and Snakes and refresh the page at the most latest. I'm like, all right. Which like it's not as fun. Bring back fan sites 2022. We're doing
Okay,
this.
wait. I need to ask you this question because I've asked everyone this question. Do
Okay.
you remember a website It was like it was like
No.
Not
was
this
like-
again.
I'm scared.
it was like I think for sure it was thehungergamesarena.net. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes! Oh my God, yes!
Yes.
Oh my God,
Holly
I'm gonna
finally
marry
gets
Found the
you.
one. She
Yeah.
found the one.
Oh my god! You like
Ronnie
reached into
Ronnie
the-
was definitely
Yes.
competing with Holly for the number one spot
I'm
here.
gonna cry.
Listen, I you reached back in the depths of my brain for that. I don't know how I
I'm
forgot
done.
about it, but yes, it was religious. Like I
Do
just
you remember like
The
that
RP.
leaderboard? And you would have to like compete to be the number one. I was number one for a year. I literally
you know,
I,
I
this
love you,
website,
Holly.
no trace
Holly.
of this website.
there is no
Have
trace
I
of this website.
ever told
So you don't have
that
any
you're my
proof. You're
role
just
model,
saying you were
Holly?
number
I
one.
love you
No,
so
I
much.
believe it though. Like some people were like, I wasn't as involved with it as other people were, but like I believe it. I believe that you were like in the top for a year. Like it had to have happened.
Confirmed.
I don't know. Pretty
Put that on your
convenient. There's no
resume,
trace
Holly.
of it.
Yes.
That is hysterical, Holly. I can't. We're gonna have to
You
talk about
just-
this.
You
later.
made my life because I have asked everyone under the sun who is a Hunger Games fan. I'm like, do you remember back in the day? Like I was in 6th grade at the time, and before I would go to school, I would log on to my mom's computer and go and just like participate. So I would be number one. Like it was every day for me. I'm just
Oh
so
my
over the moon.
God.
I can die
No.
happy now.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this
Yes.
off podcast because we need to talk about this.
Yes. Ah! I'm sorry. This is my moment. I'm crying.
No, the amount of like very niche, weird Hunger Games websites that I was on at the time is insane.
Yes.
There was that one that was like it was like a role-playing site, but like not really, but like you got sorted into a district.
Random October? Is that the one?
Yes. Yes. And like I got District 9 for Panama October. And then like when the official like capital.pn thing opened up, I also got District 9. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'm just
that
in
was
District
kind
9.
of sad that happened at sort of the same time because it was
Yeah.
everyone was revving up for this like Panama October thing just because it was
The
releasing in
countdown on the
October.
website, they had a countdown. I was so excited for it.
Yeah, and then the Capital PN came out and it was like, oh well, and then it kind of
Why was it
fizzled away.
October other than the month? They just wanted to call it that.
I think that's when it
I
was
don't-
releasing, and so everyone just kind
yeah.
of started calling it Panama October.
It was
And,
really
yeah.
interesting though. It was like because like I think there was like a rumor at the time that like somebody from Lionsgate was helping running it or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it, I
the
mean,
person
I
running
don't,
it was just like, no, guys, I'm I'm just me. Sorry.
Panama October was great though. I loved Panama October.
2011. What a time to be alive.
Man, oh, that whole time period makes me feral. Like, what a different time period that was. Because I was 16 then, and now I'm about to turn 17. Or not 17. Oh my god, 27. 27. Wait, listen. How long have
How
I been
long have you been
17?
16?
A while. And now I'm about to turn 27. I'm just like, yeah, I'm older, but I still feel like, especially with now that Hunger Games is becoming a thing again, like I can't help but feel like 16 again. It's very nice. But I also feel ancient.
Right.
With all these very niche Hunger Games fan websites. Like anyway, literally Into the Arena is so good. So good. So anyway, page 4 of chapter 7.
The first,
Yes.
the two.
First 2
Literally.
pages, right?
There's just, putrefying flesh, ripening in the heat of the warehouse. It's great.
Smells
Fall
great.
vibes.
It's
Oh my
so
God.
visceral though. It's like I love like Suzanne. God, love how she writes so much. It's so visceral and so gross. It just
The
like you
best
can
one.
imagine it. It's so in the best way possible. I love how she just like it's a scene from my old kitchen where my mother treated the dying multiplied by 10, by 50, by 100.
Mhm.
I'd expected a bombed out buildings, but instead find myself confronted with broken human bodies. It's like, ugh.
Oh, she's never really seen something like
a mass
this,
casualty event
right?
like that. Yeah.
I mean, she
other than like the
visited,
mine explosion, but like
yeah, and
she
District
wasn't.
12, but that was like
Yeah.
skeletons, like the remains of
Yeah.
bodies. But like this is actual people that
Like
she's having to
suffering.
interact with and are hurting.
That's like children, and it's not just like, you know, minors.
I mean,
no pun intended. Sorry. Anyway, carry on.
And also wait, really quickly, another good Boggs moment. Where it's like right after what I just read. She was like, I turn to Boggs, this won't work, I say, I won't be good here. And then she says, he must see the panic in my eyes because he stops a moment and places his hand on my shoulders, or his hands on my shoulders. You will, just let them see you. That'll do more for them than any doctor in the world could. That's so good. It's so sweet.
He is, I think, the most underrated character of all of them.
Yes.
I agree.
Honestly.
I love him. I love him in the book. I love him in the movies.
Solid,
I cry.
dude.
It's a really hard death for me to watch. Like, I don't
Bro.
get like too choked up on a lot of them, but there's that one really hurts.
When I went to that filming location, the fact that there was like a random piece of barricade over that exact spot, that like it didn't make sense. It didn't have a sign on it that said like they were doing anything or construction or anything. Like it was just there. And I was like, this is a grave marker for Boggs. 100%. Like at least that's how I'm taking it.
Oh.
Because there was no reason for it to be there. There was no other pieces of barricade anywhere else in the vicinity. And I'm like, what is this for? And it's in that
It's for
spot.
Boggs.
Yeah. So I feel like I got to pay my respects.
Oh, rest in peace, King.
Literally the king of the series,
Literally.
Boggs. Let's see what else.
I like that she starts interacting with people and then seeing how it helps them and changes them, and like this is when she realizes that she hasn't been alone. Like, I don't know, I just love that moment for Katniss, that there are people behind her who support her in like her effort, and she's not totally by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Which like in the movies, it's just kind of like people are saying comments to her, and Jennifer Lawrence is just awkwardly like, "Oh yeah, okay, thank you." like I mean, it's just, but like, as we can't hear her internal dialogue, but like, it's nice to read something like this to where you know like what she's thinking and like how unsure she is, but then she starts to notice how much of an impact she's making on people. Because even when she gives like the I will line in the movie, it still seems very unsure, but I think by the time, at least in this part of the book, she feels a lot more confident than just like, oh yeah,
I'm the Mockingjay.
I guess I'm here for this. Yeah, like, I mean, I would be shocked too. I mean, if I were a 17-year-old girl that just was taken to this hospital and people started freaking out to see you, even though you really didn't do anything other than, I guess, win 2 Hunger Games, but still, I would be jarred. But I think this is just kind of when she gets the full impact of how much she means to other people.
Yeah.
And doesn't really come across like that in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, like not just Prim, not just her mom, not just like people in 12. Like it's much bigger than that now.
Like even Eddie. Even that one random kid, Eddie.
Oh my God, sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't stand that part in the movie. Like, because I imagined Eddie being like a child, and it's just like this twink that's like, "Are you ready? Are you here, Katniss?" Or like, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to fight for us?" And it's like, shut up. Like, I imagined a child. I don't know.
What about the baby?
What about
Yes,
the baby?
added.
Eddie was
What about
supposed
the
to be a
baby?
baby, but he was like a teenage twink, and I want him to be a
Oh my
little baby.
What about the baby? Chase,
What
you
about
gotta
the
say it.
I lost it.
Chase, I need to hear this.
Yes. You need to say it. Oh, he's a robot now, so.
Say
Chase
it.
is drowning.
Say it out loud.
He's like a robot saying it.
It's the ride. It's the ride at the Dubai theme park.
Oh my god.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Good.
Now go. We're waiting on you.
Oh. No pressure.
Chill. So
Whenever-
anyway.
Let me just do it randomly.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll
Too much pressure.
include
He went robot again. I just think it's because he's anxious.
Yeah, it's not the computer, it's him.
That's how he talks when he gets anxious.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Anyway,
So then we get the
Anyway.
bombs coming in.
And
you skipped ahead like 4 pages.
What? I did not.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
chill.
was
So,
on page 90.
I Loki's like went to 95, so
Now I'm on
skipping
92.
forward.
I'm on 90.
All right, what's
So-
on 91?
wanna
wanna discuss.
To Germany. It's when she becomes powerful. She's like, yes, I know. I'm the boss.
I
I can do stuff.
She also said that like the people chose her to be the Mockingjay, which I really like.
yeah, same.
Mhm.
Because it's not like a capital invention, like
Mhm.
how they kind of did to her. And also another good Boggs line on 91. You have to give yourself some credit for what you've done in the past. Like, yes, girl.
That reminds me of the like line in the movie about she deserves to live a happy life.
Yes. Ugh. You know what? Yeah, let's just go to the bombing. Let's just go to the destruction of innocent lives.
Woo! Happy.
Woo! I remember when I read this part in the book, I was in, oh God, when did this book come out? 2011?
2010.
2010. So I was 15. So I was a freshman in high school. I think it was in science class when I was reading this part, and I literally had to put it down because I started tearing up.
Aw.
And my teacher asked me if I was okay. And I was
No.
like, no.
I'm not okay.
It's
I am so ashamed to say this, but I cried in middle school when I read The End of Allegiant in class.
no,
Ollie,
I don't
I
blame
love
you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't blame you.
I was
don't
crying.
blame you.
I
I
mean, that
read
would
the
be
lead.
traumatizing.
And
Like
Do you
just
remember when
in
Allegiant got
class.
leaked? Did you read like the leak when
No,
it came
I
out? Do
didn't.
you remember that? I did. I was like, I don't
Mm-mm.
care.
I
Um,
refused to read it.
I was not a fan, so.
Wow.
The first two books were fine, especially Insurgent. That one was very good. I loved the book Insurgent, but Allegiant just you
That should
can't
be our
do
next
that.
watch along. We should watch
No.
Insurgent next. Just to like
I
tear
would-
it apart.
I would be
Yeah.
down for that. Oh god, the movie's so bad. The movie's
It's
literally
so
the worst
bad.
thing I've ever seen.
Let's
I
do it.
literally-
We've watched Divergent before, so now let's do Insurgent.
Oh, I can't believe I
Friend
missed
and
the
I have it
Divergent watch
planned.
along.
That was like 50 years ago.
Well, we
but-
have to make it to the third movie because I haven't seen
It
it
was
yet.
last Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
you haven't seen
Our man-
Allegiant?
or
Or
our tree
whatever
was
it's
going
called.
Allegiance. Yeah.
It was
Ascendant.
Allegiant, and then Ascendant was going to
Detergent
be the
or
second
whatever.
one.
detergent? You just said detergent.
Get out of here.
Wasn't that like a joke? The
It
Phantom?
was
Yeah.
like before the title came out, because it was going to be like this big reveal of like what the new Divergent.
It was
book
like
title
always
was
a
gonna
book
be, and they were
cover
like,
with detergent on it or
Divergent.
something.
Yeah, or detergent. Yeah. I got the reference. I definitely got the reference.
Thank you.
immediately.
My friend and I definitely have a making fun of Divergent night planned. Like not planned, but like it's in our list of things to do because she's never seen any of the Divergent movies. She hasn't read it.
Oh.
She doesn't know anything about it. I'm like, I'm not telling you anything. You're going in blind.
for her.
And I just can't wait to watch that happen.
Stay that way. Just never watch. Well, actually, the first one's good, but just
The first
never.
one's good. Like it's fine. Like it did
Wait,
its
Holly,
I want to
job.
be brave.
I have
And
like
strong.
a Theo James picture I need to send you because I
Please do. He's okay. Whenever I read like a romance novel or something, that's who I envision is just Theo James. I love Theo James. I know Emily doesn't, but
He can't
I'm
Not
act.
that
I'm
attractive.
sorry.
And he's not a good actor.
He can't act. He cannot act to save his
yes,
life.
he can.
No, thank you.
Oh my god.
Did you see
I'm
the
with you on-
what was that one that thing that he was recently in? Oh God, the Time Traveler's Wife.
That was
Um,
so bad.
It was really bad, but it honestly it was very close to the book. Not very, but like it was pretty close to the book from what I remember. Which the book was not very good. So I guess that's why the series was not very good.
Well then. You sure know how to sell it.
It did, literally though. So Mockingjay.
All right, are we at the bombs?
We're at the bombs.
Yeah, let's let them explode. Let's do it. Let them fly.
And Katniss takes her earpiece out, which I forget is such a big deal in the book. Because
I think it's so. I know. I wish they would have kept the earpiece thing because I really liked later on where Haymitch is
Right,
like,
that's like a whole
th-
thing.
that was. It's like I can attach this to your body, and I'm the only one
Put
that
a
has
chip
the
in your brain or
key.
something.
Yeah, like very very upsetting. But
I'm
It's-
surprised that that's not something that they use like in all of the citizens of Panem. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
like
why
a
don't they just do
technology you have
that?
access to, you know.
I mean, if they have like an MP3, not an MP3 player, but like a file the size of glitter that can hold thousands of songs. I think they talk about that in Mockingjay or Catching Fire. And it's one of Katniss's prep team members that complains about the lack of being able to get this music chip that's the size of glitter that can hold thousands of songs. Like, surely there's a brain chip that they could just like sneak in there or something. I don't know.
Oh, thank you, AJ. Oh, no! I hate you.
Is
It's
it
an
in the
ugly
chat?
picture. No, it's an
I'm
ugly
scared.
picture of Theo.
It's just so pixelated.
I hate you. I
I'm
was
like,
looking forward to it. Oh god.
Send it in the main chat 'cause I want to see.
Ugh.
Because it's like it just
Emily,
I
you should
have
put it on the screen.
I have it saved.
Where is it?
I'll send it to you.
I have it saved in my folder of reaction pics on my phone.
Stop. I hate you.
Send it in the main chat, please. I need to
Wait,
see
I'm trying to
this.
figure out how to do that. Sorry. 1 second.
This is everything to me now. It's become nothing to everything.
It's just oh no. Okay.
That's my face when Chase turns into a robot.
Wait, how am I?
Okay, everyone. Photo incoming.
Okay, Polly's taking care of it.
Oh,
Oh god.
should I just send it to Emily?
No, do not send it to me.
Emily,
send it
I
in
know
the
you
chat.
want it.
Just
Okay,
send it in the
fine.
chat. I want it. I want it.
I'm gonna. Okay, I have to airdrop it, and then let's see. More share. Anyway,
Any
keep talking about Mockingjay, and then I'll pop it in on random.
It'll be a jump scare. It'll be great.
Jump scare. That's what happened to me.
I feel like it's interesting in the book versus the movie. Like in the book, it's made clear that Snow is being like really spiteful and like targeting the hospital because he sees Katniss there and is upset. Whereas in the book, it's like
It's very vague.
we don't know why, and it seems
Yeah.
like they say intelligence doesn't think that they know that Katniss is even there. I'm kind of like, does it matter?
I think it's
But-
more powerful, like in the movie where he's just like bomb it, and they're just like, what? They're like, yeah, he's.
I think
bomb
so
it.
too,
Just bomb
because
the
it
hospital.
shows how like wrapped up he is in like getting back at Katniss
Yeah,
specifically.
It's so ruthless too. It's just
Yeah.
like not that, the Hunger Games themselves aren't ruthless, but it's just like so callous and personal.
yeah.
It's a funny moment to send this.
You wrote that speech yourself, Ajiria.
Did everyone get it?
No, I didn't get it.
It's sending in the chat, I believe.
Okay, good. But also it kind of goes back to Mockingjay really really quickly, back to Mockingjay. I think they make Snow such more of an interesting character in the movies. I mean, like, I mean, of course, this is written in first person, so you can't really get that view. But one of my favorite parts of Mockingjay Part 2 is like when they're in the sewers and he's like passed out on his desk, and like his assistant wakes him up and he's just like, oh, that is her. Like, that's her. Like, he's just like, it just, there's so much
He's just
context in that, I
He's,
think.
he's obsessed with her.
Yeah,
too.
like it just really shows how just crazily obsessed he is. And it's creepy. But since reading Back to Ballad, like you can see why he was so obsessed with her about it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we wouldn't have the ballad like book that we have without Donald Sutherland.
No,
Yeah.
And
not
like
at
his
all. Not at all.
performance. I feel like Suzanne like watched that and like took in a lot of that as canon. Like even if it wasn't, and like a lot of those scenes like inspired ballad.
Yeah.
For sure.
'Cause,
It
like,
just
those are-
it's also like I just can't imagine any other version of Snow other than Donald Sutherland.
Same.
True.
So Tom, if you're listening, got a lot
Well,
of
yeah.
hopes. We got a lot of high hopes with you.
I think visually he doesn't look like how I imagined in the books,
Same.
but I mean there's a lot of things that are different than how I imagined visually, but character wise, I think he's perfect.
I think he can do it.
Yeah.
Even though I've not watched, what is it, Billy the Kid? I've not watched that yet. Still,
Same.
God, I
It's
need to
good.
get
It's
on
good,
that.
guys.
I need to watch it. I feel like he's a good actor, just based on that one episode of The Gilded Age that I watched. I feel like he can do it. I'm open. I'm very open. But yeah.
Then
Let's see.
Gale and Katniss are just so badass.
They are, and like the part where, oh, where is it?
On 94, I feel like they have kind of a moment.
No, literally, I was
I
just
was like-
reading.
I was like, wait, I don't
was so
remember.
sexual.
I don't remember
I was
this.
literally, I was literally reading that exact. I know exactly what you're talking
Mhm.
about.
Like, okay, Katniss.
Like it's.
There's just
there's
his
chemistry
flushed face,
there.
his pulse visible at his temple, his lips slightly parted as he tries to
Oh
catch
my
his
God.
breath. I'm like, what smut is this?
Same.
Oh,
Like E.L. James would never like.
Yeah, literally. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, when I last read this book, I don't remember that. When I read this book when I was little, I don't remember that. Like, I think it just,
Repress it.
yeah, it's gone.
It's the Mandela effect of repression.
Yes.
Or you just know, like, you've read the whole series, you know that Gale's not a great person, so
Just block it.
you just
Yeah.
block it and you just see his bad things. When I mean, like, relationships are complicated in general, like friendships, like relationships. So, like, you know, I'm sure he has his good moments, but I hate him. I just can't. I don't like Gale.
I mean, I really like Gale on the next page where he's yelling at her, like, don't stop, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
keep going. And then there's the
He gets a
sound of
boot.
his boot on someone's face.
Yes.
He's like, I got you, Katniss. Go do your thing.
It's so badass. I will admit that.
Okay, and then the bottom of page 95, I feel like Chase and I have always had this discussion about the hovercrafts or like the hover planes and them being invisible,
You
like kind of cloaking
don't.
or not. But I feel like this confirms it, right? Like
No.
Taylor says we expect at least 3 more waves. They have to drop their sight shields before they release the bombs. That's our chance.
yeah, they're invisible.
The sight
Right?
shield is like the name for the cloaking aspect.
Hmm. Interesting.
No,
Oh,
that's just
sorry.
something else, I think.
Uh-huh.
I'll text
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Aunt Suzanne and ask. I don't think that's it. I think it just means it's like a brand of armor or metal or something that they use.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're not invisible. That's so goofy.
But
It
they,
is kinda
like the
goofy.
but the hovercrafts are invisible in like the other books, right? Like
Mhm.
I
They
didn't
never
read
like
that.
put that together.
like they materialize out of like in the first book, like when
Mhm.
she's having like that experience with like the girl that becomes the Avox, like she just says that it materializes overhead.
It's the whole thing with the Mockingjays too, and they're able to like somehow
Yeah,
sense that they're
sense
there,
it,
even though
though
they're
nobody
still
can see
invisible.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like,
just
she says at the beginning of Mockingjay, there's at least a dozen invisible hovercraft above me.
Chase thinks that's
So-
figurative. Like,
Oh
Yeah,
no!
I always-
Yeah, like, oh, they're so high up. I
Why?
can't
but
even
you
see 'em.
can't make that the reasoning for every single instance where it comes up.
Where she just says invisible, like directly.
No, it is. You're telling me they don't have airplanes, but they have hovercrafts? Come on.
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna lie. I
disappear.
definitely always thought that the materializing thing was just a fancy way of saying like
Yeah.
they're just really fast or they're
Yes.
really quiet and
That's
they just
what I
sneak
was
up on you.
Yeah.
I don't think I took it literally.
Yeah,
I
I've
did
never
not.
But
heard
it is literal though.
It's like the cheese buns being sweet. Like it's just known fact.
No, it's not. Wait, Ronnie,
I-
we've never asked you this.
What page is this on, by the way?
Are the
Sorry.
cheese buns sweet? Is that what
Sweet
the
or
question is?
savory? Yeah, sweet or savory.
I think they
Like
kind
the
of taste like. I think they're kind of like. I don't think they're like a Danish sweet, but I think they're kind
Oh,
of like
there's
a
a wrong
King's.
answer, and you
I
picked
think that
it.
they're like a King's Hawaiian roll.
No.
Like,
Ooh, even
sweet.
worse.
like more
Not more
sweet than
controversy.
savory.
Oh,
More
God.
sweet than savory. I don't think that they're like.
What happened to keeping
No.
the community not
I don't think they're
toxic?
like. I don't think they're not
you're
like a
toxic.
Sorry. I don't think that's like a cheese Danish. I don't know. I just thought that if it was just like a like, you know, a baked brioche bun with like some cheese cooked on top of it. Like, I mean,
well, you got to be swayed to one side or the other, I guess.
you know, let's start a civil war. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, there is a civil war already. It's very
about the cheese
controversial.
buns.
Yes.
You ruined Chase versus everyone else.
Yeah. Wait, no, isn't
You guys
Jessica
think
on that
she-
side?
I
though,
think
too?
Jessica
just-
switched
just-
sides.
So wait, you
Did
guys
she?
think that
Okay.
it's just like
She was
it's
just being
sweet?
nice.
Like it's like a dessert. Like you guys think it's an actual like dessert?
No, we think it's
No.
savory.
Well, no, I mean I think it's
Fully
savory. I think it's I think it's savory,
There's
but like
no
I think it has a
sweetness.
Very
think that there is-
cheesy.
I think it's very cheesy as well, but like I just kind of imagine like a brioche bun with like a good baked layer of cheese on top. Like it's like the best of both worlds. I'm in the
Like
middle. here.
cheddar or like
There's
Yeah,
no
like a
middle
sharp
answer.
cheddar. I think it's like a sharp cheddar.
Ooh.
No,
I feel like that's more savory though. It sounds like you're saying savory.
I think so too.
I can't say
It's like
either. Because it's both in my head. I don't know. I've never
Oh, you're
tasted the
fired.
damn thing. No.
No, it's like
What are you guys
it's
gonna
like
do
a-
in your awkward silences?
play my audio clip
Roadhouse.
over and over.
It's a Texas Roadhouse roll with a thing of cream cheese on top, like almost like a
Not
Danish.
like, not
and
like.
that's what he
Dude,
baked.
a Texas Roadhouse roll is kind of sweet.
Okay, I would
Right.
say it's more. Okay, I'm gonna say it's gonna be more savory than sweet. I do think it has a sweet aspect, but I don't think it's fully sweet. I think it is more
It's not cream
savory.
cheese. That's for
It's not
sure.
cream cheese. No, I think it's like a
Mhm.
baked cheese on top.
Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
I don't even like cream cheese, and I'm over here arguing
Oh
for it.
my
But
god, you don't like cream
What?
cheese, you monster.
I don't like cheesecake.
Oh my
Ugh.
god.
That's fine.
It's fine,
No,
I
it's
guess.
not.
I love cream cheese and cheesecake, but
Same.
I have a texture thing with cheesecake. I just
Yeah,
Mm.
it is kind of a
I
weird
get
texture. You got to
that.
get past that though. Just
See,
don't
but
think
I
about
can't.
it too much.
With the cherries on top or like strawberries on top. Oh my god.
It legit all tastes the same. It just tastes like a blob of cream cheese.
Okay, rude, but
No, cream cheese is
So I
good.
like oatmeal raisin cookies better than chocolate chip.
Ugh.
okay, those are
that's
good.
unpopular.
Okay, too
I mean,
far.
they're both
No.
very good, but chocolate chip. They're both very
Raisin,
good cookies, though.
Now I'm eating peanut butter though.
Oh, that's one of my. That's. I think I'd prefer that to chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin is peanut butter.
Anyway, back to the bombing.
Cookies.
Cookies.
It's kind of insane how sidetracked we get, but at the same time, it's
It's so bad.
fabulous. I love it. I tell my-
Katniss,
No,
like,
Ruth. No, sorry.
me trying to get
I
us
forgot
back
I
on
was
track.
on. Hey, I was talking about Rue. It's a
Aw,
character.
we love Rue. Oh, I thought you were talking about your dog.
I was.
I thought we were talking about the dead child, but
No, we're talking about his dog, Rue.
Oh, I forgot that your dog's name is Rue.
It's so
Please.
perfect.
It's so cute.
Anyway, what were you gonna say about Rue before we continue?
No, like literally, I was talking to my dog. I was just trying to make an excuse for derailing the conversation, so I felt bad.
That's fine.
You were fine.
Hmm.
Is it really tribute talk if we don't derail the conversation?
Literally, like
20
Definitely
times.
not.
I've been on this podcast how many, like 4 or 5 times at this point. I derail everything. Like
But we're already there. I mean, it's just more.
just adding more chaos into the mix. It's fine.
Oh, then Gale. Okay, so we talked about how much we love Gale, but then I just don't love Gale when he talks about, like, I know he's like hating on the Capitol for a reason, but he's just, I don't know. His line, like, she goes, why would they do that? Why would they target people who are already dying? He goes, to scare the others off, prevent the wounded from seeking help. Those people you met, they were expendable, to snow anyway. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah,
I know
but
he's
I actually
Yeah.
appreciated him in this moment because I feel like you need people like him. And I think Katniss points it out.
No,
That-
we don't need him.
But you need people that are going to like think like your enemy, right? Like you need people
Yeah.
to be strategic, or else like how are
It
you
isn't
going to be
necessary
strategic
evil
and
of war.
win?
It's
Yeah.
the art of war.
Yeah.
Like this line, he never underestimates the cruelty of those we face, and it's like you have to be in their mindset, otherwise you're not going to be prepared.
Yeah, that's why he sucks.
Yeah.
It's what
After
makes
he has such an intimate moment with Katniss that he's just like, oh well, here's the
I'm gonna
worst
be a
thing I
little-
could possibly say.
Gonna be a
It's what
little
makes him
jerk.
it's what makes him like a good soldier. It's not, but it doesn't make for like a good partner
Mhm.
Yeah.
in this context. And I've
Fair.
said this a few times before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast or anything, but I feel like had Katniss never gone into the games, I feel like they had more of a leg to stand on, like relationship wise.
Oh yeah, they would have married, I think. Like
I,
as much as I would have hated it. Not married, but like at least no, they
I'm
would have
not as,
married,
like,
I think.
Maybe.
I'm not as confident about that, but I definitely think it wouldn't be as like crazy. Like, I don't know, it would be like, okay, that makes sense, whatever. But yeah, but I think it's, like we see, like what you were saying, Emily, like you need people like that. It's an unfortunate thing. It's a necessary evil that just happens, but it's not good for Katniss on like a personal level.
Yeah. She doesn't want Gale's fire. I think that's what she
Yeah.
says at the end of the book.
It's the perfect way of saying it too. I love it.
I do too.
She's
Then we
already
get her
got on fire. She doesn't need more fire.
Exactly. Then we get her iconic speech.
Mhm.
So good.
So
Chills.
I have
Even
that whole
reading
thing
it.
memorized. I love that speech so much. It's so good.
And we talked about it on the podcast. It was like just how amazing Jennifer is.
She's so good in
Oh.
that. Oh my god.
She really
Ugh.
delivered on
Yeah,
a
she-
moment that we were all really anticipating, I think.
Definitely. Because I mean, you can definitely mess this up. Like, I could see like Jennifer Lawrence is such a good actress, though. Like, I think that she gets it, and I think that she knows like a whole lot about the character. But getting somebody just like they're just doing it for a paycheck job, which I'm sure the lines. I mean, I don't know if they would have done that. Like, cast somebody that just can deliver the lines and that's it. Like, she gives so much emotion through it. You can just see her pain and just anger when she delivers it. It's so good. That's like, I
Mhm.
think that's probably my favorite part in Mockingjay Part 1 is like her District 8 speech.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. It gives me chills every time. Even reading it, I was like, I had chills.
Yeah. I mean, and like it's verbatim from the book basically, except for like the one
Mhm.
thing that they changed that I'm just like, why? Where she's like, if you think the Capitol is treating us fairly, you're deluding yourself. But like in the movie, she says you're lying to yourself,
Mhm.
which like I get, but
Just because the little kids wouldn't understand the language. That's
I
what
guess.
Wow.
Dude, I gotta look up that one.
Doesn't flow as well.
What does
Yeah.
deluding mean?
You're deluding yourself. Also, like, what 17-year-old girl says deluding? I'm sorry. Like, I
It's the
didn't say that
future.
at 17. That's true.
They have a new vocabulary.
Yeah, lying sounds more like Katniss, I
Yeah.
think. I like it.
Are you questioning the District 12 education system?
A
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
They had vocab tests, I'm sure.
I'm sure they have a very questionable education system in District 12.
I mean, yeah, they don't learn about anything outside of their district or
That's
their
what's always
country,
bothered
so-
me. Oh, that's what's always. I
Geography
want
is pretty fun though.
Yeah.
Are we pro Lionsgate released Panem map or anti Lionsgate?
I mean, listen, I
No.
thought it was
map?
like concentric circles when I was
I did
reading the
too.
book. So
No, I did too. I thought, well, like, at least it says that, like, it spirals out from the capital, like, from one outward.
right?
And like in the movie map, it's like, why are they not together at all? Like, I get it geography wise, I guess, but like, I've seen better fan made maps than that. Like,
I like having it just. I mean, I like the Lionsgate thing just because I think it's just like a fun thing, but I don't necessarily take it as canon, even though it's technically official.
yeah,
Just like to imagine it kind of abstractly, like I don't know. I have some like the world building of Panem is so interesting, and at the same time, there's definitely things that don't quite make sense or like line up or are like straight up inefficient, you know. But it's just kind of like you just have to go with it.
yeah.
I like the idea that they don't learn things from other districts really, other than maybe what they might like piece together from like TV or something. Like just as a as a tangent here, which I know is so unlike us. Like in my story with my OC who's from District 4, and she and Abaria are, you know, gal pals, let's say. I have this whole like conversation between them where like Ren has to explain to her that like you can't drink salt water, and she's like you can't drink the ocean and like things like that, you know. And it's not like important or whatever. I just have them like kind of talking about their home districts to each other, since like no one can visit other districts.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'd have no idea.
there's such a disconnect. I mean, like when in the first book, when Katniss is like talking to Rue about District 11, I think she says something along those lines where it's like, we don't get to know anything about anybody else's district, so like it's interesting to see what they're like.
Yeah, and that always like stuck out to me. And so like when I think about like, you know, my character and the story and everything, I'm like, how would this like come up? Because I mean, like you and I, we take a lot of this stuff for granted. Like, yeah, it's obvious you can't drink ocean water, right? But like if you grow up in like a thing like that, a country like that where it's so incredibly like secluded, like knowledge is so incredibly like controlled, there would be things that you just don't know or don't pay attention to or you'd have no reason to know it.
Yeah,
Or even question it, you know.
I
Like,
wonder if there was like more communication before the Dark Days, and like after
lost.
that's kind of the capital, you know, realized among a lot of things that they really have to not only make themselves other from the districts, but then separate the districts from each other.
yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that.
that makes sense. Because I mean, even though the capital is the power, like the government and stuff, districts has the advantage of power in numbers, strength in numbers. It would make sense that you would try to like dissipate that as much as possible. And knowledge is power. So yeah, if you keep people ignorant to things, you definitely create an advantage for yourself. I also feel like just because from like a games perspective, like if you're from a district that has a lot of woods, like let's say the District 7 or something, and then you're thrown into an arena that has an environment you don't even know anything about, like how incredibly insane that must be. Like I'm thinking, like let's say you're from 7 and you're thrown into like a desert arena, like what do you do?
Yeah,
Literally,
just
what
like
do you do?
it's like in Catching Fire though, because they're thrown into a jungle, And like Katniss
Mhm.
is like, I don't really know what she's like,
This
I don't know
is.
what this is, but
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of is the word jungle. I think is like what she
Yeah.
said or something like along those lines. Like
It's almost like she's sounding out that word. Like it's like
Like maybe
she doesn't even
saw it in
know
a
what
book
it is.
Yeah,
once or
like she
something,
saw it,
but never said it
yeah.
out loud or thought of it.
And then she knows what monkeys are. Like what?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
hey,
pretty
you know
wild.
what though?
that's where they used to keep the tributes. So I mean, maybe she does know.
You know, I will say for that though, like if we have to assume like what we saw in the movie when like Caesar Flickerman is like talking to the viewer and he's like, for those of you who don't know what tracker jackers are, and like in the context of the movie, that was definitely like for those of you who haven't read the books, but if we take
Yes.
that as like in canon, in like the story, in the world, I feel like when they do like the commentary of the games, there would be, because you would have to like if people can't keep up with what they're watching, they're gonna lose interest, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like you would have these little like trivia things, and they would be presented in like maybe like a fun little like Steve Irwin way, but like
R.I.P.
would have to have some, I know, but you would have to have some kind of like, yeah, be like, oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is that's called sand. That's a snake or like whatever, you know. You would have to have something.
That's true.
I don't know.
I
'Cause
wish
you-
they had a moment in like the games. I think Chase and I were talking about this a little bit, where they do like an instant replay or something like that.
Slow motion.
Yeah,
Stop.
because they,
They
totally
totally-
do that.
They do that in the books at least. Or at least like I don't know if it's ever described, but like it seems more book accurate like than movie accurate, if that makes sense. I could see that being a thing in the books.
Yeah.
Because that's how the career tributes are picked, right, Emily? The replays for the who said it
No,
first?
Chase.
I think that's
Chase
a good
thinks that they
idea.
all like shout at the same time, and then they have to do an instant replay to see who said I volunteer
Oh my
first.
God.
I mean,
How cool
Katniss
would
just
that be,
says that
though?
Katniss just says it's more complicated. So I mean, it
I
could
have
be
a whole
that.
system worked
I'm like,
out
that
in my
doesn't sound
mind.
like complicated. That sounds like chaos.
I
to
don't
me.
think
Yeah.
it can be as formal as like groups and then being selected from the big group.
How
and then
could the
you go on
Capitol
to-
control that though?
I mean,
I
they
have,
control. They
Such
control
an
having.
elaborate system in my mind for that.
I feel like they do because like at least by the time Katniss is a person, like it seems to be very systematic and like you have to participate in the reaping unless you're like on death's door. Like it seems very forced. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had some sort of like system where they're like, okay, here's the preliminary reapings, and then here's the other reapings after that. Like, I don't know.
Okay, can I
Which
just
they-
throw out my theory for a second? I'll condense it because I have it like really worked
Go
out.
for it, AJ.
Thank you. So in the French education system, right, we have this thing called, I'm going to translate it, right, where it's like a continuous test. So like it's part of your grade and it's part of like how like you know end up passing a year or not, where like instead of just taking like literally tests, you're sitting at a desk taking a test, it's like your entire school year is a test, if that makes sense. And I feel like the careers would have, or like in like the training academies would have a similar system where it's like kind of, okay, like in Dauntless and Divergent, they kind of do that, right? It's like not
Yes,
just like
that's
this
what I
one
said.
singular event. It's like there's definitely like rounds that you have to like pass, and then maybe like the top 5 of a class or top 6 or whatever number makes sense, you know, the final like handful of students at the top of their class get to volunteer. Like you, only those people would be allowed to volunteer, and therefore it would be, but it would almost be like predetermined, like it's not a surprise to people. I'm summarizing.
That's
it,
what
'cause
no, but that's
really have,
I
like, a whole
think the
thing in my-
exact same thing as you. We're on the same page.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Wait, are you talking about like in France, Lebec, however it's pronounced?
Le Bec, yeah, definitely. But like even, I mean, I remember even before that, like the brevet in 9th grade and freshman year is like a mini baccalaureate, and continuous testing is definitely a part of that. It's like, because at the baccalaureate exam or the brevet, you might have like your sit-in exams like for specific subjects, but the point of continuous testing is like the subjects that you don't sit an exam for would still weigh on your overall score, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's all like incredibly complicated to put children through. Nobody needs this. It doesn't help anyone.
I mean, just like kind of how Katniss describes the reapings in those districts. It's complicated. And it is children that are going through it. So
exactly. And I was like, this is what's going on. Like the careers are the French. Like I'm convinced. You know,
I like my idea because I think when Katniss says Effie is looking to move up to a better district, I see it as like a prestigious, like only the best of the best can go, because they have to be like the help judge who said it first. So Effie's wanting to move up so she can be like the judge of who said it first. I think that's it. All just
Chase,
plays together. Like I feel like Suzanne put her brain in my head.
No,
Chase,
I just saw.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, do you envision it like when there's like a tennis match and they do that thing where they see like where the ball hit on the line?
The line judge?
Yeah. Is
Kind
that
of, but more like an auction where they have to like go back and see who literally started speaking first. I think that would be fascinating. It would be chaotic,
fascinating.
but
But like
cool.
I'm picking up what Chase is putting down here.
Yeah.
But I
like
just thought
imagine
that
she
like
like gets the paper, reads it, and as soon as she's done, like 5 different kids scream out. So you have to go back to the instant replay, see who did it. Do you have to do a do-over? I just thought that the reason why it'd be a higher privilege is because like the closer districts to the capital is like more prestigious, like District 1, District 2.
Like they actually have victors.
Yeah.
So that'll be more fun.
Well, potato, tomato. You know, that's all the same.
But I do like
That's just my thought.
I like the idea of just like a big, like, just everyone screaming and like somebody has to judge it. I kind of really dig that. It's kind of fun. So chapter 8.
Chapter 8. Should we just do a spark notes of chapter 8?
We made good time.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot other than like her just being in the hospital.
And then Haymitch is very aggressive about this earpiece.
I love that scene, but like, oh, Haymitch, I love him so much. He's so funny. I really wish we got more Haymitch in the movies.
Same. Haymitch
At least
is my
his same. Like at least his games. I would have loved to have seen his games.
fave.
Mainstay Pro Video, it's canon.
Yes.
Oh,
Really,
I
all they had to do was
love-
buy the rights for that. It would have been
No,
so
literally,
easy.
the
Just
mainstay.
put it in.
Mainstay
Yeah,
Pro
I
was-
would have been fine with that. I think it's good enough.
Mhm.
For even if you just wanted to do like little clips of it, you really have to show the whole thing if you want to.
Yeah, for like a quick little montage thing, it would have worked. It reminds me of like, it would have been like, you know, the reaping film that they show, and it's like these little like B-roll clips of like random
Yeah.
people.
stock footage.
War.
Yeah, but it would have been perfect. It would have been consistent
because-
with that.
Because you couldn't really, all you would need to show, maybe you show his interview and then you show the last minute where he wins and what he does with the force field, because you can't show him the Maisily Donner at all because the pin's not
It's not-
relevant in
Yeah.
that. So you can't.
Madge
So
isn't
really,
even
I mean,
in
you had
it.
to show. And if you just want to show one, all you had to show was his ending scene of him winning. Like you don't. I just said the interviews because it was like
Plus-
kind of a funny moment, but
I feel like it really would add to the importance of the force field, because I know the force field gets foreshadowed by like the training center with Beatty and Wyrus, and then with Peeta hitting it, you know, in the arena. But
I'm gonna
I
be
feel like
honest.
the idea of using, the idea that Katniss gets of using the arena force field as a weapon, she gets from Haymitch. It's not from her little conversation with Beatty and Wyrus, you know.
you
Yeah.
might as well have a sign.
that is
clip,
my
clip
that is one of my favorite. Yeah, please. That's one of my favorite lines. Because I was watching Catching Fire the other day, and I'm just like, And I have that book, I think, pretty well memorized, but I'm just like, how did she think about doing that? Like, what did she think was going to happen? Like, if she hit the force field at that moment, like, she had to put a lot of trust in, like, okay, someone's going to break me out of this arena. Like, I don't know. Like, why?
I feel like she was just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. I just want
Yeah.
to like take down
Yeah.
as many people as possible. Because you have to remember also, at that point in Catching Fire, like once she understands that she's going back in the games, she has that little like moment where she's like, it's a free for all. I can do whatever I want now. I don't have to pretend anymore. Like I
Yeah.
can just go in and go crazy. And I think she's not necessarily like aware that there's a plan, but I think she's just like, let me take down as many people as I can, like while I'm at it, you know.
Like, F the capital sort of thing. Like, I'm going to destroy your
sure.
little arena.
Yeah, just be like, have fun cleaning up my mess again, you know, not really caring if she survives or not, just kind of like,
Whatever. Let's
this is
just
what I'm
do
doing,
it.
deal with it. She's a girl boss, you know.
Ugh, I love her. So yeah, she's in the hospital. Or I guess that's skipping a little bit too far ahead, but I don't know. We're doing the Spark Notes version.
I feel like it's interesting that she, because she's talking to the camera crew a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, you know, if we were in the arena, I think I'd be allies with them." It's so funny that, well, not funny, but traumatizing and sad that she keeps thinking about like the arena. And I don't know, I feel like there's a part of her brain that's always kind of thinking about the arena.
Yeah. I love that line on page 103 where she's just like, I have to stop calling you the insect.
Oh my gosh.
To the
The fact
camera
that she
crew.
says that out loud, I'm like, what?
I know.
Like,
That's
what? For what?
embarrassing.
Kind of so funny.
Like, I'm
Awkward.
embarrassed for you,
This is
girl.
hilarious.
On the next page, the Coin and Gale are in the midst of some exchange that seems positively chummy. Like, what?
Which is like
besties?
red flag number 1000.
Yes.
No, just no. But I mean, I think they're chummy because I think he knows, or
He
he's at
knows.
least like he's seen like at least bits of like the Mockingjay Propo or something. I don't know.
I feel like he's trying
Like,
to
what
position himself.
Oh
Mhm.
no, that makes me hate him even more. Don't
Already,
do that. Oh, that makes
Yeah.
me hate him even more. It's just, I mean, I hate him. I hate him so much. I do think that the Mockingjay like Propo film that they do in the movie is like not amazing. I'm sorry. Like,
It's not
No, I think
good.
it's so cringe.
it's very cringe. There was that one fan made version. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't. I'll have to link it. That was very well done, and kind of like how I imagined it.
No, I want to see it. I'd probably remember it if I saw it, but
I don't even know if I can find it. No, like if I just type in Mockingjay District
sometimes
8.
I've like gone back on my YouTube and like looked at my liked videos and like gone in from reverse order. And there's so many that are like deleted. I'm like, I wonder what that was.
I know, honestly though, it's
But like
I
finding
hate the
old Hunger
filter
Games
they
things.
put on it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ugly. It's like yellow.
yeah, it's
And I kind of don't like that I feel like they should have used the symbol, like the Mockingjay symbol that's her pin. Like, and not the one that's like the
not
spread
the
wings,
Mockingjay
because
part
like,
one.
what is that?
They tried too hard to make it so laugh like to connect it to the real stuff, and it was just like
To
it's a
sell
little too far.
merchandise. To sell merchandise.
in
That's the
the-
only reason why they did it.
In the book,
And
I
Gary
love the
Ross was-
description on page 105. At first, my screen is black, then a tiny spark flickers in the center. It blossoms, spreads, silently eating up the blackness until the entire frame is ablaze with a fire so real and intense. And I just remember when the one of the very first things that we got was the
I found
motion poster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, oh, this is it for Mockingjay. Like, because back then we didn't know that they would have anything, like the marketing would have the flames around the Mockingjay pen, but like it was in the book in Mockingjay, and we're like, oh, this is so cool. This is so perfect. I don't know. Just reading that made me think about seeing that motion poster for the first time, which was so cool.
So cool. Well, like when because I mean, in the original, I think the Mockingjay Part 1 pin is the most accurate to the book description, because like she never describes an arrow
Right.
being in the pin, and she just describes like a winged
No,
bird,
like a bird in flight, and just the wings are
surrounded
touching.
by
Yeah.
so like I think that's, and also in like the UK editions of the first book, because they have like a Katniss cover and a Peeta cover, and like that drawing, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen that, but like the pin that she's wearing, it looks exactly like the Mockingjay Part 1 logo. So I guess I can't be too mad about that. Anyway, I found that fan video and I'm sending it in the group chat. It's a little cringe, but
Well,
it's
so is
honestly
the one
really,
in the movie, so
it's honestly really well done for like a fan made thing. Like that's kind of how I imagined it. Like I think it's better than what they did in the movie.
Who ordered
let's
this
see.
pig?
Who ordered this pig?
I love that they showed the film, and then Katniss says Coin indulgently hits the replay button.
Oh my gosh, she's like, yes.
Just need like a shot of like Coin just watching, like, I don't know, she's like in her office just like watching how awesome
is
Katniss is.
The awful version of the mom in Mean Girls.
True.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. I've not made that comparison. That's very good.
That's funny. I can see it.
Like, not exactly supportive, but like, but oddly invested.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Everyone like not trusting Coin though, and like keeping her in the dark about what happened in District 8 is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish they would have played up more in the movie.
I wish they would have included these We Remember propos. Like those
I
sound
was
really good.
I was gonna say that. Yes. I think that's such a good idea. Have
Yeah.
you guys listened to the Katniss Chronicles?
Yeah.
Have I?
We have.
Talking to the number one fan.
Good. I did an I can like link it. I did an interview with the creators for Jabberjays like
Whoa.
6 years ago, 7 years, no, not even more than that. Oh my god.
Mhm.
Like 8 years ago at this point.
They started it in 2011, I think.
Yeah. Fabulous. Literally the best. I asked them if they're gonna do anything for Ballad, and they said they don't have any plans yet. Let me be a voice actor. I would love to play Sejanus.
I'll be an extra.
But I think that they just like they had all of like the good scenes that I wish for in the movie, where like, you know, people were doubting President Snow and like kind of ignoring, or President Coin. You just kind of got that more malicious intent from her from that, when like in Mockingjay Part 1, she's just like, oh, you know, I'm serious, but like it's fine. We're all here to like do some work. It's good. We're all here for a good cause. And then Mockingjay Part 2, she's like, I'm evil. Like it's, but like in the book, it's so much more nuanced than that, because she's such a complicated character.
I literally did not understand her character at all until the movies. I was so confused by her for a very long time. And then the movies, and like hearing people's like tone and inflections and stuff, and like also just the context clues of the film, I was like,
yeah,
okay, got it. Now I understand what's going on. But like I was like, I don't.
I mean, it might just be me like reread. I mean, I've read this book, God, like well over 10 times at this point. So like, I just might have just been influenced, but she just doesn't seem like a good person to me. But I don't remember what my original thoughts were with her.
I know,
like
I
when
wish I could remember what I thought.
I wish I could read it for the first time again. Like
I should have taken notes.
Same. No, I feel you. Same. If we burn, you burn with us logo, blah blah blah. So good though. Love that. Everyone congratulates themselves.
And then we
And we
get
remember,
the
And
Caesar
the
and Peta
Haymitch
moment.
stuff.
yeah,
Mhm.
the Haymitch scene. I wish they would have kept that in.
I love that while I was eating, I ate your lunch line. Like that's the line in there that I
Yes.
can picture Woody Harrelson just
Yeah.
saying.
Same. And then she accidentally ends up watching Peta's interview.
I love how they lie about it too.
Which, like, I
Like
don't
her
know
and
why
Peta.
they would. Like, I
And
get
that's
it,
when I
but,
was
like,
kind of confused. I mean, but then it helps her to realize, like, oh, for sure you can't trust any of these people because they're not even going to tell you that PETA
Yeah.
was
Very
on
true.
TV.
Very true.
Yeah, I'd be mad as hell. I
Yeah.
would have started a fight.
Like snapped, like I did see it. Psych. Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah.
I do think that Josh Hutcherson, unpopular opinion,
Uh-oh.
sorry,
Here we
I don't
go.
think I don't think he's the best actor, but I do think in Mockingjay and Mockingjay Part 2, he does a very good job. Like, I think he was getting his leggings for like in the first two movies, but like Mockingjay especially, he like really shows his stuff, and
He's
his
amazing.
interview scenes were so good. I cried. I loved them so much.
Like
I feel like the complete opposite.
I feel like
Really?
he's not an
Yeah.
amazing actor, but I feel like he's
He's
just
not.
he's average. Like he's just like he's good. I love PETA. And I love Josh being PETA, but that's about it. There's nothing like Jennifer. you
So I
know,
don't
like-
have an
Have y'all
unpopular
not seen
opinion
Bricks and
about this
Terabithia?
then.
Oh yes.
Yeah, had me
Yes.
rolling the floor as a
Have I
7-year-old, bawling my eyes out.
That movie made me want. That made
Rip
me like.
Leslie.
That
He
movie
says,
like made me
"Next
realize
time-
that mortality was a thing. Like,
When he says next time we should invite Leslie, she'd like to go. Oh man,
stop
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Like he does this very. I think he did a better job though in at least Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. Like, I don't want to say Part 2 as much, but Part 1 I think he had a lot more to do. Like with his interview scenes and stuff like that, he could be more subtle and stuff. But
that opening with him and Will Shields in Part 2 is pretty good.
oh,
though.
so good,
Probably one of my
so
favorites.
good. I love that. That's one of my favorite scenes in Mockingjay Part 2. Actually, is the beginning. Like I love that scene so much. But I don't know if it's because I love Josh's performance or I just love Katniss going, "No, it's not him," and then immediately cuts to the title.
That's
like
probably
it's
the
so
good part. I just
so
laugh
good.
honestly at most of Josh's stuff in
It's-
part 1 and part
uh,
2. It's cringe
I'm glad.
to me.
I'm glad that this isn't
Yeah.
that much of an pop. He can't act very well. Like, I mean, he just can't. And like, I love him to death as a person, but like, I just,
I think
you
that
know,
I
You're not
love
seeing
him in
Harvey.
Catching Fire.
I'm pretty on board with
Oh.
him for the most part. It's
the
the
beach scene in Catching Fire is so bad. Like, he can't deliver his lines for that.
Is
I'm
it
sorry.
like is it the script more though?
No, it's his delivery. He's like, I don't have anybody else that I love. Nah, 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 nah.
I think he's
No,
good in
no,
that
no.
scene.
No, he's
Yeah.
so one note.
Literally.
There's no inflection.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, let me show you
Uh-oh.
my necklace with pictures of your family crying at the reaping.
yeah, it's just
with,
like these
like-
awkward, like weird shots of them in the crowd.
like literal promotional shots from the first movie. When in the book it's like
No.
it's a picture of my sister Prim and my mother like laughing.
I think they just
And
don't have a
there's
lot
Daryl
of chemistry.
smiling. They
No.
don't. They
He
really
went
I
and
think
don't.
got
that's the
those-
problem.
Effie went and got those off the security cameras at
Yeah.
home. That's what I tell myself.
That's a good.
That's
That's honestly a
iconic.
very good justification. Okay, I dig that.
These
I dig
weird
that.
photos of them just staring out into the distance.
At the reaping, like
Yeah.
just because like in the book she's literally like Gail smiling in like a rare moment, and it's like, why are you taking? You could have just taken some pictures. Like, it'll take 2 seconds of just like them smiling.
Like with this kind of budget,
literally,
What?
like it doesn't take any time to do that. Like
they thought
that's
we
the
wouldn't
problem.
recognize them if they were brand new photos. I
I
think
mean, which
that's what
I
it
think
is.
I don't. I think the Gale one was like a quote unquote brand new photo, but I think it was still from the first movie. But like I think the Prim and like Katniss's mom photo was like a still that was released.
Yeah, it was. I think it's on the trading card.
Yep.
Oh,
It's the trading card pictures.
Yes.
I think it's because Nina
Yeah.
asked for a bigger salary in the second movie. They couldn't afford new photos anymore. They had that
Yeah.
planned, but Nina wanted a bigger cut. So
There we go.
agreed. Hollywood
Deserves
agreed.
it. Nina deserves it. Queen, legend, icon.
But no, they also had to pay the new cat too, extra. So
Oh, true.
Worth it.
fair.
And the
Fair.
new
talent these days.
Yeah, they
Wait,
had to pay
Holly-
the new Justice Building. They had to recast the Justice Building.
You,
Holly-
I hate that small.
Do
It's
you
so
remember-
small.
Well, they
Do you
cut him out of
remember-
Ballad.
Rip.
Do
Okay,
you
go.
remember when Angela gets a new cat and she's like, her father was in Meet the Parents?
Yeah.
I always
my
think
God.
about where are those cats, or like what happened to them? Who has those cats? Because imagine being like, my cat was in the Hunger Games.
Aw. That'd be me.
Like, it's right? But
Yeah,
actually,
I wonder
though,
what else the cat did. Like,
We
do
can
they
look
have
at-
an
It's an
IMDb?
IMDb.
On
I'm
IMDb.
sure he has an IMDb page.
Yes.
Oh no! Look up the
Yeah.
black cat because he really got put into the.
Kicked to the curb.
He was fired.
I really think they should just kept it at that point.
No.
Absolutely
no,
not.
no, I'm sorry. I was really happy when I saw that they like
Mhm.
it was a ginger cat. I was like, okay, good.
because
Thank you,
that
Nina.
was a detail that did not need to be changed. That was not going to create an undue oh my god, I can't speak. An undue hardship on the production to just get a cat in the same color. It would have been a small detail that would have just been like, Buttercup, you know. And then when you see him for the first time, I remember being like, this isn't Buttercup. Like, this is like some other cat. Like, this is some other like District 12 stray. And then she like speaks to it, and I was like,
He's got a good hiss though.
That
That's
cat does have a
fine.
good hiss.
Good job
But,
in
like,
rehearsal.
I think that's
Do you
when I
think its
saw
owner
that-
had to get down there and practice with it?
Oh my god.
100%.
I feel like they
100%.
had an orange cat though, and it didn't hiss, and that's why that all happened.
I'm gonna be honest though, when I saw the orange cat in Catching Fire, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good movie. Like,
Yes. Uh-huh. We're
They're
like, so we're
book
changing
accurate.
Visually
things.
stunning.
Literally. Well, even just the opening of her just like sitting there on the rock, I was like, oh, because I went to a double feature like when Catching Fire premiered. Like they showed
Mhm, yeah.
the first Hunger Games movie at like 9:30 or something like that, and they showed Catching Fire at midnight.
Those are the days.
The juxtaposition between the two movies, like right when Catching Fire opened, I was like, budget. They got a budget with this one, and like I was here for it. I drug my parents to that. They were obsessed. They were very happy about it. Which I was
So
very
were mine,
excited
but I
about.
didn't let them stay.
Oh,
Rip. No, not
Deb,
Deb.
if you're
Not Deb.
listening, we support you.
We stand with you, Deb.
We'll get you a ticket to Ballad if you need one.
Literally.
my +1.
We have one page left of Mockingjay left if we're on the same page, which I doubt we are, but of this chapter at least of Mockingjay.
I have no more notes, so
I really don't either. PETA looks sad, and no one mentions PETA.
This is a record. It's gotta be.
is
Yeah.
it? Oh my gosh, time flies
Wow.
when you're talking about the Hunger Games.
Which I was honestly I was like, there's no way we can talk for like at least 2 hours about set photos and
Famous
2
last
chapters of
words.
Mockingjay. I
Almost
know.
as long as our Lucy Gray, Rachel Zegler talked to Francis Lawrence. I'm just like 4 hours is not that long. I mean,
Wait,
but maybe
what?
he had somewhere to be.
Oh,
Wait, which
yeah,
episode
when
is
he sat and talked for
this?
4 hours. What do you talk about? How do you not get awkward and have to leave?
No, like Rachel, she said that she the first time she met with Francis Lawrence, they talked for 4 hours because like she's such a big fan.
Yes.
No,
I was
hey,
like,
she seems like the type.
We
that
could
sit
talk
there and
for
talk
way more than that.
Oh my
but-
god.
She seems like
No,
the type that could sit there and talk for 4 hours.
Rude.
She does. She seems very energetic and one of those like, I need to go lay down.
I
and
mean,
rest."
Yeah,
she
the
probably could have
introvert in me
talked
is
for
like-
12, but she
Yeah,
probably had
probably.
somewhere to be.
And she had to go play
I mean-
Snow White.
But like, I mean,
How do you-
Francis Lawrence and Suzanne Collins both locked themselves in a hotel room to write the Catching Fire script for days.
Love that.
Ooh, That's awkward.
So
That's awkward.
literally.
What?
I hope they had separate rooms.
Oh my
We like
gosh.
What
cuddled
else?
at night.
It'd be like those rooms that like communicate with each other, you know? I feel like that
Oh
makes
I
sense.
would-
yeah.
Yes.
I
The
would have
joined
loved to be locked
rooms.
in a room with both of them.
No,
Ooh.
same. I would love to dig in. So I would easily talk to them for 12 hours at the very minimum
This
if I
now
were locked in a
becomes-
room with them.
This now becomes late night with Tribune Time. We've been on
Yeah.
for so long. It's like when Cartoon Network became Toonami at like 8 p.m. It was like a pivotal moment in the day. Like that's what we need.
Literally late
Actually,
night
you know what?
tribute talk.
Get Francis out of there, actually. I don't have anything to really say to him. He didn't come up with anything. I
He
think it's
Wow.
with himself.
restructured it. He restructured the whole story. Not the whole
An
story, but
already
like the
great
whole
story.
vision.
Yes, he took apart an already great movie and redid it for his own.
Chase, I'd like to see you do that.
Yeah.
Talk to Francis.
Yeah, Chase.
Catching Fire is so good. He did such a
I
good job
would
with
have. I
it.
would have went. I would have taken the budget I had, called Gary Ross, and said, "Hey, buddy,
I'm sure you would have.
we'll give you
He
double the
didn't
comeback."
choose. He quit on the Catching Fire. Remember,
Yeah, he had
he
no, he
wanted
had
to
no
write
time.
another movie that stunk
Or
in the
wanted
box
more money.
office.
Probably.
He didn't mean to. Everybody gets tempted sometimes by greed.
And look how that turned out.
He let
Just
you
put him in
down.
the
Chase.
He
put him in the
created
victor.
the
gotta-
greatest of the four.
Chase, I'm gonna have to have an in-depth conversation with you about the first Hunger Games movie.
It's.
I feel like
it's,
we agree on a lot of things about it, but I'm sure we probably disagree about a lot of other things about it.
you know how Holly and Emily say that blue vampire movie is their favorite. They're like comfort movies.
The blue vampire.
Hey,
Oh.
who had
Show
a
some
Twilight
respect.
marathon last month?
Just-
I-
Whoa.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
I have
hey,
no
hey.
idea. Um, the first Hunger Games movie is my comfort movie. So.
It is a
Wait.
lot more of a comfort movie, I think, than the other movies are.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very cozy and it's
it's
on
very
good-
cozy. Yeah.
None of these movies are my comfort movie. I feel like that's such a weird.
It's
I-
sick to say.
I'm sorry.
but- No, it's sick to say, but I admit it. There
Yeah.
are the first one, and I mean, honestly, all of them are my comfort movies. I will watch them any day, if anytime, anywhere.
There was a period of time where I like every night for probably like 3 months straight, I would just put on the Hunger Games, but I would just go to scene selections and I would just put it on when they enter the Capitol train because I
such a
just
good
like
scene.
that reveal so much. And then the introduction to Haymitch, and Haymitch makes me feel safe, and then I would fall asleep. Like
Aw.
it's just like this very specific like process. And then I don't know why, but after those 3 months, like it had kind of passed, and I was like, okay, you know what? Actually, what's really cozy is Mockingjay Part 1. And I did that for like
Yep.
3 months. I can't explain
No,
it.
I
but
feel you.
It's definitely a rainy day movie.
Yes.
Give me Twilight.
You guys are sick.
I always feel like I every time I put on Catching Fire, I'm like, yeah, this is my comfort movie, and then
No.
I'm like, this
It's just pain.
what?
It's terrible.
No, like it's awful in like a good way. Like I love it,
Yeah.
but it's
My favorite
so
part of the first
much.
movie is like the arena scenes, which is horrible, but it's because I just like the woods aspect of it. It's not really
No,
'cause wanna
I-
see the action.
I like the aesthetic of the games.
That's
I
good.
like the
I feel
setting.
that the
Yeah. It's
'Cause, like,
bad, but here we are.
it's not terrible. It's not a
No.
terrible thing. Everybody gets
apple.
comfort from different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Twilight.
You know what I'm saying? Kidding. Kidding.
Rude.
Hey, don't say my dog's name. Don't bring her into this.
You'll rue this day forever.
You'll ruin
Ruined.
this day.
Oh my god. Did y'all read
She's a-
Jeanette McCurdy's book? Because
Yes, yes, it's so good.
I did.
it's so good. It
It's
was
so
very.
good. Ugh.
I cried like a baby. I mean, I cried like an absolute baby after I was finished with it. It's so upsetting.
It's good.
Um,
Usually I don't like those kind of like autobiography
Memoirs.
memoirs. Yeah, but hers was good.
Yeah, it was.
So good.
I think I'm gonna write a memoir one day.
Yeah.
You should
About
do
Rue.
it.
right from Rue's perspective.
I'll send y'all a rough draft in a few days.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We're expecting
from Rue's
it.
perspective. The
What's the
crazy person
title?
that can't drive picks me up and takes me from my biological mom. Stop.
I'll do the film adaptation.
Yes.
I'll do the
Yes,
graphic novel.
Jerry.
You can be the editor, but Gary Ross has got it.
I was just about to say
Alright,
Gary
alright,
Ross
okay,
has to be the
okay.
The
director.
shaky cam.
But you can do the editor.
I'll take that.
AJ, you can do the promotional pics, like
I'll do
the
the graphic novel,
posters.
companion illustrated
Ooh.
graphic novel,
And
And
I
I'll-
will be
the promotional imagery.
and
I
I will
got
be
you.
there for all the set leaks.
Yes.
Any
there we
set
go.
leaks, I will just immediately report them.
This is it's all coming together.
There we go.
It's
It
not
should
gonna
be
be my
titled
tour
something. Should be titled like not the blank. That's
Not
your
the life-
catchphrase. Not the
Insert
life of Chase.
Survivor reference.
Not the life of a legend.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey,
We'll be like, who is this kid?
Not the memoir from my dog's perspective.
yes.
It could just be
Yes.
barks. Bark, 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 bark. That could be the title.
There you go.
I think the dogs would really be into it.
Rue wrote it.
The barking of songbirds and snakes.
Hey.
Oh my god!
there
And then
we
you would
go.
have Santino Fontana give a really
Oh my
flat
god!
rendering of the barking in the audio.
And his barking would be like rough.
Bark, bark.
Rough,
No,
rough.
Not the
or like
Santino
bark, bark.
Fontana.
God,
I
I
just
love him, but I
I
can't.
I loved his audiobook narration, but compared to the Hunger Games audiobook narrator, where she put her whole chest into those
She
songs,
did. She
and then
literally
Santino
sang
was
them.
like, no, and then the Gem of Panem is like, I can't.
Dam of
Damn
Panem.
up Panem.
Mighty City.
There's
Would
no
the
way he
angels
didn't ask if he could sing
shine
them. There's no way.
Because he's a musical theater actor. Like
Right.
he had to.
I bet they
like,
told him no.
And that's
like-
fine. But it's just, that's unfortunately how it's registered in my brain. And therefore,
same.
yeah.
But also like in
Dude.
the audiobook, it's very obvious when he had to go back and record stuff. Like the editing
It
is like very
it
whereas
is
it's like-
bad.
it's like Coriolanus sat on a bench and it's like, and then he blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
it's like so
he's not good at going back and doing it the same exact way where he left off.
no,
like,
not
the
at all.
Really insane pauses. There'd be like really crazy
Yes.
pauses, and it wouldn't
Ye-
even be like at the end of a paragraph. It'd be like end of sentence, and then we're going like
Yes.
It, honestly,
one moment-
It's like more the latter
Mm.
half of the book too, so maybe I feel like he just got tired or
Yeah.
something.
I mean,
It's
I
a
can't
long
be an
book, I get
audiobook. I can't be an audiobook narrator. It would drive me insane. So like I don't know what kind of hard work goes into that, but I'm sure it's a lot.
for sure.
So, give him credit where credit's due, but at the same time, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks and I feel like
Yeah.
I don't notice that sort of change in other audiobooks. I don't want to hate on him. Like
It
he's,
could be
he's
the
brilliant.
director
great,
of
though.
it. I mean, I don't
It could
know.
be.
Hey Jerry,
It's-
is
Could have
this-
been worse.
you know the Spotify audiobooks of the Hunger Games that you
Yeah.
sent?
They're good. Yeah.
Is that the girl who reads the actual book audiobook?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah,
She's
That's
so
what- yeah.
good.
she's so good.
Yeah. Man.
Oh,
I tried to listen to it one night to go to sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep. Now I'm not
What-
saying it
I
was her
like that.
fault.
We'll just
I'm
have to
just
listen to the
saying.
Katniss Chronicles then.
I had to go back to my
Top
ASMR.
tier.
Top tier.
ASMR. No, but like the pauses is real. Like I can recall like what it was like
when and where
when
pauses occur.
yeah, it's when they're looking at the footage and Dr. Gall wants to or someone wants to darken the footage and there's like a pause and then she's like on the broadcast. I'm like it's branded into my brain because I recognize it.
That's so funny.
I
just
love how much
remembered
you
that it
listen to it, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry,
I'm
I'm gonna
impressed
send you an
was
Audible
call
gift
it back
card.
like that
Thank you.
because I just remember that there were a lot of pauses, but I couldn't tell you. Like on page 57,
So many pauses. because like I pre-ordered my book and like it didn't come in the mail like when it came out. So I immediately got the Audible. So that was my first experience with Ballad. It was listening to the audiobook.
I feel that.
And
I listened to the audiobook while reading it on page because auditory processing. Woo. And it's the best way for me to read. But so it's like now I can't even like read the book, like just the book on its own, because I just have it like the sound in my head too. So like yeah, like the Gem of Panem is just
Gem of Panem.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's so
Mighty
irritating,
city.
and like I love that because it's
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be, you know, and
Sure.
it just like nails on a chalkboard.
absolutely.
Him hearing it over and over, so I kind of like it.
I like
I'm
it, but I hate it.
I'm excited to hear Flanagan,
Flanagan.
whatever her name, Flanagan, sing it.
Uh,
I hope she does. I hope they keep that in at least a little bit. Just like 1 or 2 lines. I'd be down for that.
his voice is low for Grandman. It's
Coriolanus, like
Coriolanus. When Coriolanus is president.
When Coriolanus is president.
president.
That actress, like her voice is classy, if I remember correctly, from Lost. Like she sounds very
Ooh.
sophisticated.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how she's gonna play that character.
Yeah. Because also, she has an English accent in Lost. I don't know what she would sound like with an American accent.
I mean, did Elizabeth Banks really do an American accent for Effie? Like it was like mid-Atlantic, like British.
Yeah.
But she
It's
was the only one that did a capital accent, though, which honestly has always bothered me with the movies. I wish they would have went all out with the capital accents. Which, in the Katniss Chronicles, they sound more like Valley Girl,
Mm-hmm.
which is what it's described in the book. And I'm like, I wish they would have kept that.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping capital accents, fictional accents.
Actually, it's accurate because
No, literally, though, that's me.
I understand. Me with like Masala's piercing placement, like the detail that literally nobody cares about, and I'm over here like, actually, you know, like that Vine. That is not correct. Like
literally. So it's almost midnight.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's almost bedtime for everyone.
Yes.
It's not even
Wow.
9 p.m.
I know.
You
Emily's like, I'm
fucking-
thriving.
You West Coasters, I can't. I'm very jealous.
Emily, are you off
Um,
work yet?
Stop.
I had to leave early for this.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was your lunch break or what.
Oh my
That's the
god.
thing. That's the thing, though. I only have like an hour between work ending and me having to get on here, so it's a rush.
That's wild.
Party.
Wow, crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy
girl.
girl. So we're also all on TikTok, I'm gonna
Yes,
guess.
absolutely.
I actually don't have to talk.
wow.
Follow us at
Honestly,
Into the
don't-
Arena podcast.
Yeah, shameless plug.
Oh yeah, this is live. I forgot.
Yeah, watch out.
Well, look at the time.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And if you've listened till the end, you deserve a medal. We'll be sending
God.
you in the mail for listening this entire time.
If you listen to the end, Into the Arena is giving away free tickets to the
Oh
ballot.
my god.
Yeah, but you have to go follow them and like their page and give them a shout. And the first 5 to do it will win.
There we go.
Type
I
in
mean,
who
definitely
ordered
For
this
the
deserve-
pig
5
in the
followers,
comments.
Chase.
What should be the secret emoji that people should leave in the comments if they've made it?
A
this
puppy
far?
dog emoji. Like
Okay.
a little
There
puppy
we
dog.
I was
go.
gonna
there
say
we
the poop
go.
emoji.
Oh. Emily would
How
eat
about
poop.
There we go.
We all know she would eat poop to be in the Hunger Games movie.
This really turned you talking.
Every
You don't
time it comes
acknowledge
up
this
every
at
time.
least once.
It has to.
I get
not
uncomfortable. I don't like bodily
Oh
functions.
my gosh, wait, Jerry, you get to go to the ballot premiere.
Let's go.
Jerry just commented with the poop emoji, so Jerry is in. There's 4 more
No,
spots
the
Yes,
left.
emoji is the 15th flag in the list of flags. That's
There we go.
give them a little
Yeah.
flag in the list of flags.
Yes. Well,
I don't
thank
know
you
what that
all.
is.
I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yes,
But yeah,
Isaac.
anyway, have a good one.
Oh wait,
Um,
Isaac stayed?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh,
Isaac-
yes, Isaac. We
Yes.
love you.
Isaac loves the 3-hour episodes.
Yes, we do it
does
for
it?
you, Isaac.
Wait, what's Isaac's Instagram?
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out. I'm here for it. Also, I need more like Hunger Games Instagram followers. Like,
What,
I
we're
need to
not
freak
enough?
out
Are you
about-
kidding me?
no, you all are very. I feel like I'm annoying you, and every single time I set photo links, I'm just like, "Did you see this?" Like, and you're just like, "Yeah."
Like,
I
yes, we did,
have."
but let's talk
Let's
about
talk
it.
about Okay.
So Isaac, if you're listening, drop your Instagram. Anybody
Yeah.
listening, drop your Instagram. I need more Hunger Games fans, tributes, as it were.
Well, we might as well go to midnight.
All right.
We
got
might as
5
well.
I've been.
Listen, I can keep this going.
Yeah, I'm not going to bed until probably 3 more hours from now, but no
Gosh,
kidding. I've
Jay.
been doing really good
I
about
don't know how
resetting
you
my
do
sleep
that.
schedule.
Wait, in the next 5 minutes, everybody, your most controversial Hunger Games hot take.
Oh no.
No, we're doing
will-
I
this.
feel
We're
like
doing
Chase
this.
has a list, so we can just.
I
go
know,
with
Chase-
that.
I know
I don't
Chase
even
is-
try to do them to be controversial. I like most
No,
of the time
Chase's
I truly
list is what
believe
I
those
wanted.
things. Or
Ballad
do
might be
I
top
don't really
2.
know.
I wasn't sad when Rue died.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's pretty-
In the book?
whoa.
I wasn't sad in the movie.
I
They say
wasn't sad in the
controversial,
movie.
not inhumane.
Oh my god.
Like, oh,
Literally, though.
I've said
I
this
thought
one
this
before
cringe.
though. Oh, Rue, I
Maybe-
care about you, Rue.
Cheese ones.
Cheese buns.
I have 3 top ones, I think.
Chase,
One,
do
they
it.
should have kept Gary Ross. Not even because Francis is bad. I do like Francis, but I just like the continuity.
I get
2,
that.
the cat should have stayed the same because I like the continuity. And 3, I don't think Elizabeth Banks should have been in the movies. In the last,
Whoa,
last
whoa,
one.
whoa,
Hey.
It's so that's so.
That was a
wrong.
loaded one right
Because
there.
That's
Even though
wrong.
I just-
You
even
said
though I kinda
controversial,
contradicted
not
myself with the
inhumane,
cat.
Chase.
Even though I kind of contradicted myself with the cat, I'm a book purist. So I think whatever the book had, the movie should have as well. Like, I believe that wholeheartedly.
But Suzanne messed that one up.
She
But
did,
also,
but
and Suzanne
Too late.
Suzanne said in an interview, like
Important.
after watching Catching Fire, she was like, "We need to have more Effie," and that's why they kind of added her into Mockingjay as much as
I
they
wish
did.
she would have thought of it when she printed the book. But I just couldn't. That's
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
I like her. I just don't think it's accurate.
I think
enough.
if it has the author's blessing, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I hate how my most controversial hot take is I don't like how in the first movie the District 12 fence isn't a chain link fence like it is in the book.
I
That's
like-
it. That's all I
agree
have.
with that, too.
It's just like this, like she can just crawl under there. Like, I mean, like it's so easy. Like in the movie, like she just goes underneath it. It's a barbed wire fence. She can just army crawl down underneath it if she had to. Like if it's a chain link fence like it is in the book, it's like it's harder. Like you're gonna have to climb on that and then break your tailbone like she does in Catching Fire.
Someone say they want the Catching Fire suits to be like the book. Someone say it. Just we all know it's true.
Those seats are
I
so
would prefer
ugly.
them because I would
They're
prefer
so
them because
ugly.
they're already ugly in the movie, so it doesn't even matter.
Oh,
no,
They're
controversial
ugly.
take. I don't think they're ugly in the movie. I don't
They're
think
ugly.
that.
74
I think
games
they're
are elite in every way
fine.
possible, including
my faith right now is the Theo James pick.
Yes. Everyone, look
no.
at the Theo James picture. No one brought it up.
I'm
It's
scared.
so good.
I did not get it.
It's
Is
sent
it
to
in the
everyone.
chat?
I sent
Not
it to the
me.
chat.
Is
I
didn't
wrong.
see
Am I
it.
not? Am
No, I
not
said
included?
me to everyone. That would be so rude if I sent it to everyone but you.
I didn't
Okay.
get it. I will screenshot the conversation and send it. Like I
Let me
didn't
forgot.
try
get
this
it.
again. Oh
I'm
my
gonna cry.
god.
I'm gonna start
It
crying.
says
Because
that
I'm on
it
the
sent
phone.
it.
I
Yeah,
don't see
maybe
it
that's
either.
why. Okay, rude. I'm trying again.
Don't bring my dog
Sent
into this. I said
successfully.
it.
Okay, did people see it?
No.
No.
I think it may be
What?
other computer only thing, maybe because I mean I'm
I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, I'm
It
on my
might be.
computer.
Wow.
I'm
Okay, I'll
I'm-
send it to everyone.
only the cool kids use
Yeah, I
their
can't
phone.
open it.
listen, DM me on Insta.
DM moment.
I'm going now physically on Zoom on my computer.
Yeah, go look. Okay, I sent it to everyone. King. I love your reactions to thing, Jerry. So funny. The
Oh, no.
caterpillars.
God.
caterpillars.
I wish we could show
No.
this image on screen.
Can't you just share your screen, Holly?
Let's see. I don't want it to pop because it's just like a small photo. You'll see my Adam Driver background, everyone.
Yes.
Honestly, we deserve that. Do it.
Me trying to
Okay.
think of who Adam Driver is.
Oh,
Kylo
Star
Ren. Oh wait,
Wars!
it's why is it not that
Oh
background?
yeah.
Okay,
That
let
guy,
me
huh.
pull up this
I don't
image.
think I know him from.
So one of the old Star Wars was playing the other day, and it was one of the oddest movies I've ever seen. Like I had to turn it off because I was getting like.
Which
it hurt
one
my
was
head to try
it?
to- I don't know. They were like hanging on to like these robots flying in space. I think that's like every one of them, but
Yeah.
It's
That doesn't really narrow it down.
It's the
It's
one
the one where
Natalie-
they're in outer space.
Natalie Portman is like being
Oh, it's the
saved.
prequel.
She's like in the
It's
whole.
one or
She's
two.
like, I don't know. It was odd. I had to turn it off.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's go.
I'm here for it. Do it.
Let's go.
We deserve this after a 3-hour long podcast.
Wait, I think you have to unshare the screen, Emily.
What?
My back hurts from carrying the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
you totally did.
We all
Share
contribute.
screen.
Tribute.
Okay,
Contribute.
there we go.
Contribute.
For everyone.
Oh my god.
I think we all sing.
I think we all sing. I love
Why
it.
does he look? Why does he look?
Victoria Justice has been served.
Stop.
Victoria. Why does he look wet?
Oh, what?
Like he looks
His
moist.
forehead takes
like,
up so much of the photo.
it's so much space. Bless his heart. Like he's still very attractive, but like, oh, not a great look.
If you look here, right at his nostrils, I just can't. It looks like he's cross-eyed, but he's not. It's like an optical illusion.
No.
Is it Tina who thinks that Peter or that Josh looks
Ooh,
cross-eyed?
can we draw on this?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
you can.
Stop. Not the nostrils.
Right here.
Don't make eye contact with
Oh
the
no.
nostrils.
I'm screenshotting.
Evil.
that.
You guys, this is gonna end up being the thumbnail.
There we
Good.
go. It's time to stop this mess.
Pull the plug. Pull the plug.
This
Well,
is
the book is done.
censorship.
We're done. We're done. You're done.
You're done.
Censorship.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not even.
Also, Isaac posted his Instagram on there too, just so you know. I'm not gonna read it out loud because I don't want to spam everyone or spam him.
Is
but
it
if you
on
wanna go read it-
the YouTube?
It's on the
comment?
YouTube chat. Yeah.
I have to do some hunting. Okay, fine.
Isaac, you gotta come on here
Yeah. Seriously.
next week.
Pretty soon you'll be a
oh,
regular.
Isaac follows me. I forgot. Isaac follows me on Twitter.
There you go. Reconnecting friends. Lost
There we
friends.
go.
Hashtag Gary Ross's boss.
Yes.
Ross's boss.
Oh, I have bad news.
Uh-oh.
There isn't a animal IMDb, so we have no idea where the animals are.
Oh
No.
Oh
no.
no, no.
Stop.
Do you think they're even still alive?
Nina probably sucked
Oh,
its
no.
soul out.
Oh, I
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like, did
Stressed
Buttercup
me
ever
out
like
in, like, the
pass
best way.
and we don't even know?
We don't like rest in peace. We
I
should
feel
have a
pieces.
funeral.
Oh my god.
Let's have a funeral right now.
I'll play the bagpipes.
Okay, do it now.
Do it now.
Oh wait, sorry, that's a trumpet.
No, that's a trumpet.
Can I
Holly,
change
I'm
my-
so sorry. I didn't realize you sent me the picture on Instagram, and I opened up my Instagram DMs. I was like, wait, what is this? And it was just
You're like, who is
James's
she?
face. No, I
jump
was just
scare,
like,
I'm
I was like,
telling
what are you
you.
sending me? I was
Surprise.
it,
That's how I felt.
not a pleasant one.
So okay. Well, we made it to midnight.
We
That's
definitely
We make it to
did.
3 hours.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what?
I'll see you at midnight.
Oh, there we go. That hurts.
Wait, what's that from? I'm just kidding.
Uh,
By Taylor Swift,
Like-
new album.
Taylor Swift.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Oh my God,
no,
it doesn't
Yes,
no,
Taylor
no.
Swift.
Everyone's like, all of her fans are like, oh, that means she's releasing a song on the Ballad soundtrack. I'm like, that doesn't come out for another like year and a half.
Yeah,
like,
what the heck?
she's not.
I
gonna
bet
be
she's already
announcing
writing it
that.
though.
Not another
I
era
don't.
of her.
I don't think she's coming back for that. I'm sorry. Like,
It's
as
Madge.
much as.
When will
Oh
she
my
stop?
God! I remember that in the Safe and Sound video. Everyone was like, "It's Madge." I'm like, it's just Taylor Swift walking around. Even the
No.
Mockingjay pin wasn't right. The Mockingjay pin bothered me in that music video. It wasn't the same.
Take
the
that
arrow.
down, Chase. Take that
She's
down.
We love
so
Taylor.
No,
horny.
it's perfect.
She is queen.
She
We
has
love Taylor.
She's
talent,
God.
sure, but when it's overpowered by whininess, it's not fun anymore.
Oh my God.
Wow, wow,
Well.
wow.
She makes herself a victim in every situation.
That? No. I can't.
Okay,
Now, come on.
I am
now.
not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. However,
Yeah.
I watched the documentary about her and I was like, I get it.
I like
No,
the
I'm not
documentary. That
denying
was good.
She's extremely talented. I mean, she's got a gift, but it's overshadowed. Like everything she does is overshadowed by drama. And there's a
But-
common
Sure.
denominator in
No.
every bit of that drama.
Which honestly,
And it's
though,
not Scooter
Honestly.
Braun. It's not Kim and Kanye.
honestly though, I'm just glad this isn't a Taylor Swift podcast.
Welcome to the new podcast called Into the Midnights.
Oh my God.
Can
If y'all
someone
think it-
explain to me why she hates Scooter Braun? I'm kind of confused on that situation, and I would like to change my mind about it. If
I don't know who that is.
What?
the guy who like bought her music, like why was
Yeah.
why did she sell them? Did she sell them?
Oh, what she's doing now by like doing Taylor's version?
Yeah, I don't get that. Can someone
It's
explain that
because
to me?
He was creepy,
And
right?
they took all her
Mhm.
money. Like she didn't get like she got barely any like of the what is it called? Royalties back from
Yeah.
her music.
Royalties,
Back
yeah.
to contracts.
Yeah. And so she just wanted to claim what was rightfully hers. And then they also like when she was originally recording, they had her change a lot of the lyrics that she didn't want to change, but because of the contract that she signed, she had to change them. So this kind of gave her her voice back, which I think is a very powerful thing, and I respect
Okay.
her for it.
Now, here's the question I have, and this is a genuine question. I don't know. There may be more to the story. Why did she sign the contract if she didn't like what the contract said? That's
Because she was
wondering.
she was
She's a
just
child.
coming up.
I
Yeah,
mean,
she was just
Yeah.
coming up.
Oh,
coming
so
up
she
and
sold her
also-
soul to get.
No, but
okay. I'm just
Also, I
playing.
feel like
No, I get it now.
being like a young woman, especially
Mhm.
like there's so much shenanigans,
Yeah,
that you have to deal with, unfortunately.
agreed. So it's like I think it's a really powerful thing for her
yeah,
I
to
know she's-
redo all her songs.
and
And
do them
isn't
her
she-
It's
way.
amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't she a huge reason as to like why why and how artists get royalties from streaming? Like, wasn't she a big part of that?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because until that was happening, and like until she fought that, it was like peanuts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Listen, not a huge Taylor Swift stan. I do appreciate her,
Yeah.
and we share the same birthday. So I just
What?
December
Really?
13th. Yeah.
Yay.
Different years. She's 89. I'm 95. But
Does that make you a Sagittarius?
oh yeah, it does.
Oh yay!
You better
I'm a
believe it.
Sagittarious. Oh my gosh.
That makes so much sense. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
good. We gotta stay together.
Yes, of course. That's so exciting that you have her birthday.
She's from Tennessee, or like at least lived in Tennessee for a bit, which I did as
You're
well.
the same
So
human.
basically, I mean, 6 years apart, but still, yes.
There you go.
Twins.
Twins.
6 years apart.
Literally 6 years apart twins.
Switched at birth.
Parent trap, but 6 years later.
There we go.
All right, y'all.
Okay, everyone.
It's
Is
midnight.
This
It's my time. I have to wake up kind of early, but
Well,
I
thank
always
you.
appreciate having this tribute talk, because it's honestly, I've said it before, it's better than therapy,
Yes.
which I do weekly as well. So like,
And this
I was
one's
like,
free.
this is better. It literally, this one is significantly cheaper than my normal therapy.
Same.
Me, who has therapy literally tomorrow.
You get 2 therapy sessions.
Literally.
And it can last 3 hours, so it's perfect.
Instead of the 1 hour that I'm allotted. Yes.
Yeah, seriously. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Isaac, for joining us for this whole time. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully, maybe we'll have more ballad news. We'll see. It's kind of been a little dry recently, but we'll probably have set pictures.
We'll still have 3
And-
hours of conversation.
Yeah. So come stay for that next week, and we'll see you then.